Okay, we are live. Welcome in, chat. Welcome in. Maybe for the last time, just the last time this NBA season, though, of course, the Thunder chat. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Game 6. It's 3-2. And, I mean, these guys, they're just getting started, it seems like, chat. Of course, what do we say? It's like their first year in the league, and these guys are winning the title, and then they have every pick in the first round ever. It's not looking good for the rest of the NBA, chat. It's not looking good. I don't know. I almost wish the Spurs could. Can we just loan Wembanyama to the Pacers tonight, chat? I don't know if we need to, like, can we rewrite this into the CBA last minute, some new rules? If we need, like, a new, a loan basis trade system where we can loan out guys for, like, what, for teams that are not in the playoffs, we can loan out guys. I don't know, they pay us cash, chat. Maybe we give you Wembanyama for a finals game and we get Tyrese Halliburton for just, like, 5 random playoff or regular season games next year. We can just call them and be like, hey, actually tonight we're playing Denver, chat. We want Halliburton. We need Wemby to get a win over Yo. We're playing OKC. It's like we got some seeding games here available. Commissioner's Cup, chat, in season tournament. Like, let's use a game for Halliburton. I don't know, league, write it down as an idea. Who knows? And maybe it'll get you a game 7 as well too, because it does feel a little. I mean, well, the pregame, I guess, it did feel a little like OKC has kind of conquered Indiana here at this point. It does seem like, of course, they have them on the ropes. It's like, is it inevitable that they win? It's the inevitableness of that it feeling like them gonna win this series. I guess it's just like, is that tonight? Is it the next game? What is that? What does tonight mean? I guess if the Thunder, we think they're gonna win the series, but the energy before I mean, again, Indiana, chat, the basketball state, the great crowd, but it was just absolutely fantastic to start. Again, in a game where you feel like it's a little, maybe a little bit more tense than sort of excited and ready to go. So we'll see. So, I mean, again, for the Thunder as well, too, their ability to step out, just be solid, their ability to, just play calmly right away to start. I mean, Chet driving to the basket, the little layup doesn't go. Hartenstein with the rebound. It is funny to see, I will say, like, the idea that the Thunder win the title tonight and Chet is, like, the most terrifying guy. I guess there is, of course, a swagger that you get from winning the title. It's just like, okay, Chet is, like, the top dog of the league. It is a funny thing, Chet. It is a funny thing. It makes sense. He's a great basketball player. Obviously, Shea is the actual MVP of the league. But just as it's like, the Thunder's main 3 of Shea, Jalen Williams, and Chet. I guess Shea's obviously pretty, like, prototypical AO for the position that he plays. And same with maybe J-Dub is a little bit more not prototypical, I guess is the way to say it. A little technical foul to start right away, Chet. A little off foul. Hey, yo. Was that off the free throw? What happened there? Halliburton with the... hey, yo, right away, Chet. We're just already getting distracted. Halliburton with the free throw. 1-2. The rare 1-2 score. Turner with the turnaround. Oh, chat. Not able to get it to go. But yeah, I guess, Jalen a little kind of, I guess maybe it's stylistically where he's a little bit of a funkier player than maybe necessarily like the prototype stuff. Oh, Halliburton for 3, chat. Of course, Halliburton playing on the strained calf. There's been some dialogue on the ESPN shows and on Fox. It's like, we're walking around the restaurant, chat, and they're like, first things first, are running segments on, like, should Halliburton continue to play for the rest of the season. Hopefully we're not calling out first things first here, chat. Somebody was running that segment on one of the TVs at work. I don't know if it was Fox or ESPN or whatever, chat, but first things first is getting blamed for it. So there was like should Halliburton be playing for the rest of the... And I mean, I get it as well, too. I mean, the idea of, oh, do you want to cost yourself the money down the line with the contracts? If he gets hurt now, especially at this point in the season, if it's like a season-long type injury, then you're just out all of next year. And then, you're costing yourself all of those games for potentially just one game. Like, I get the financial math of it for sure, but, I mean, I think you got to go out there and play as well, too, chat. And especially since it's not like we can't really speak to the degree of his injury. I guess it's his injury. But it does seem like you would, if the label of that injury, chat, it does seem like if you got that diagnosis, you'd be like, okay, is there a way to try to at least make this work and run this out there? But he is looking aggressive to start on offense, chat. Does he feel the desperation right here? The ISOs, he's had a couple of little dribble-heavy possessions here to start, chat. Of course, Halliburton, especially early in the games, I feel like in the first quarter, has been really playmaking and getting the other guys involved and waiting to get himself his looks toward the end of that. But here he's got a couple of shots early, chat. Chet as well, too. The drive, the spin, Chet. He's taken the Siakam matchup personal, chat. Siakam 20 a game. People, I mean, ourselves over here included, loving Siakam's game this finals. He's been impressive. Maybe best player on the Pacers. So Chet's got something to prove, I guess. It is what it is, chat. It is what it is. But this is it, chat. Maybe the last game of the NBA season. Game 6. At least we did get to a Game 6 eventually because, again, with the way the Thunder, chat, rolling through the finals, it's just going to be like, are they going to dominate everybody? Is this even going to be competitive? And the Pacers, I mean, not only did we get a competitive finals, because like we talked about, I mean, like that Warriors-Celtics finals was definitely, you know, a 5 game, still like an interesting finals, kind of competitive there. Definitely more, what did I say, Chad? Did I say Warriors-Celtics? Warriors-Celtics finals? Definitely more competitive than like Celtics-Mavs as a finals. That finals didn't really feel that competitive at all. You know, Nuggets versus Heat, kind of competitive, but still really felt like the Nuggets were definitely the better team in that matchup. They didn't really have a way to really contain Jokic for that series. But this really has turned into the iconic series. And, you know, we're only 5 years into, I guess, the 2020 part of it. We could compare it, of course, I guess, centrally. We want to do a 25-year finals rankings after this game, chat, potentially, or just after this series, I guess. You know, I don't want to say after this game, but hey, after this series is over, we'll do like a 21st century finals rankings. But at least for the 2020s, this would feel like it is tough because that Bucks versus Suns finals is a great finals as well too. A little, I feel like, lost in sort of the narrative, the dialogue stuff. You don't really hear it brought up. Jalen Williams, the turn and drive, chat. Complete miscommunication on the Jalen Williams spin. I mean, Jalen Williams, chat, off the 40-point game, you're not necessarily thinking to be more panicked than, oh yeah, chat. Neesmith was there guarding him. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say he was going to contain him on that drive, but with Jalen Williams going back on the screen, faking off the screen, of course, Neesmith getting confused on the switch there. Who knows if they call it out? Doris Burke, what happened? Doris Burke, give us the analysis. But, yeah, I would still say that Suns Bucks finals was a better finals. Just because I still think even Giannis's performance in that finals is a better performance than anything we're seeing. And I guess we don't want to write anything off the table. If Jalen Williams goes for 40 the next 3 games, then that would be impressive as well, too. I mean, there was stats with him, or maybe it was Shea. I forget now at this point. Hey, chat, it's a credit to each of them, which one it was. But about the consecutive 25-point games in the finals as well, too. And it was for the age, you know, for the younger rookie contract type guys. Maybe he was like under 25. So I think it was Jalen Williams as well, too. Here, let's look, chat. His last 3 games, over 25 each, which, again, doesn't mean perfect. Yeah, 26, 27, and then, of course, 40 AO. But definitely cleared 25, chat, in that last game. But, yeah, again, 26 and 27 in the previous games before that. And it was Wade, Kobe. I don't know if, again, MJ, I don't know if he was on that list, chat, because I don't know exactly what years he made the finals. Let me see if this was an NBA post. I know I saw it on the old gram, but I don't remember if that was NBA or ESPN. NBA on ESPN, chat. Which one was it? Bleacher Report. They maybe I don't know. Need to know if they knew to do a better job of getting the brands to stand out, but a way to make it more impressionable, maybe. I guess we'll just check NBA on ESPN real quick and see if they had the research here for it. And of course, chat, like always, we never saved it because why would we save valuable research that could actually mean something and help us out? But a post from 2 days ago? No, I don't think so, chat. Oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, obviously Wade and Kobe were both on the list. So we definitely know it was Wade. I guess, what are we doing, chat? We have the stat head right in front of us. We could just pop on over to the stat head and look it up as well, too. But Needless to say, as well, just regardless, historic performance by Jalen Williams over the last couple of days for the under 25 crew in the finals with his scoring game. Under 25 age, over 25 points, chat. A rare club, I guess, in the NBA finals. And then, even rarer, like we were saying last time, the 40-point club. Of course, chat. But, yeah, I mean, it still would be one of... And I guess if this does go to 7, I mean... that Bucks Suns series didn't technically go to 7, so does this series just become more competitive by default to that? Because of course a 7-game series you would assume would be a more competitive series, but this has felt a little bit, or at least I would say as equally as fun as Nuggets versus Thunder. I don't know. Maybe we do a quick playoff ranking, a ranking of the series this year real quick, just to see, because I mean again with this series I feel like, at least in terms of the 2025 version of the ranking, would be pretty set in stone for where it was, where it would end up. But first round, yeah, Boston versus Orlando. Orlando, some interesting moments defensively, but nothing quite. Of course, Cleveland versus Miami was the least competitive series, but I don't know if we rank it as the worst because it was such a historic series. I guess we weren't tuning in the games in the moment, but just such a historic series. It's like the worst series of all time, Chad. Is it not the worst series of all time because it is the worst series of all time? Like, if it's a historically worst series, then is there like some entertainment value in the fact that it's like, okay, now you're watching the worst version of playoff basketball of all time? But the margins anyways. Not the we're not trying to talk down on the Heat too much here, Chad. Hey, yo, we love all the players in the Heat. So I have stock in that team. Run it back, Chad. 7 seed again. Hey, yo. But in the playoff ranking, wouldn't be that great, unfortunately. Turner triple teamed. Yeah, Hardenstein swatted him, Chad. It is what it is. A trick play. He fooled Hardenstein into swatting a pass out to Siakam, Chad. Hey, yo, Turner, he's a genius. But Pacers versus Bucks, just injuries, maybe would have been more competitive. I would start doing the dialogue on how the Pacers made the finals, but it is part of the story as well, too. It at least is not an uncommon part of the story for teams to make the finals because of other teams' injuries, and not solely because of that, but definitely helps swing the overall balance of that series to 5 games. New York versus Detroit was a pretty good series for sure. Denver versus LA went 7, but I mean that last game was such a bummer, and I don't know, LA, Chad, is like an entertainment team, but Golden State versus Houston was kind of fun. I feel like the thing about this series as well too is, and I guess the thing about that, and really about a lot of the series, but is it really does feel like we have had sort of the highest level of basketball played in this series, which I guess is not. It is something that you want in the finals, and then in the moment, again, do we rank it every time and go, okay, this series was actually the number 1 best series? But there is just like, okay, there's a general level of quality and competitiveness throughout that kept the series entertaining. But again, it does feel like the level of basketball that has been played at times in this series, especially, what was it, chat, that, we're not going to get all the games straight. Was it game 4 now? That was the closest sort of back and forth game there, and that was the game where Indiana, and I guess up until this game, it's 10-10 here in the first quarter as well too. So the games in Indiana, Indiana's good. We got to say, Indiana's crowd is good. Well, I'm better than OKC crowd, or we're not going to be able to go to Oklahoma City after that. But we gotta admit it, Chad. It feels like on the TV, the fans are performing a little bit better. It is what it is. I don't know how. If you get a Game 7 opportunity, how to necessarily judge getting that back on track. It's just a sort of, again, a vibe listening to it. But Nembhard, another 3, chat, and it's Nembhard offensively with a couple of shots here that are getting the Pacers back into it. 2-2 from 3 to start. Hey, yo, Pacers with the lead, 12-13. So it's going to be Jalen Williams versus Nembhard, chat. Battle of the Batmans. I don't know if, the Superman, well... Yeah, because that's what Shaq said to Kobe, right? The Superman and Batman, not the Batman. The other version of it would be the Battle of the Robins, right? Hey, yo, hey, those guys are Robin. It's unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate for Robin, chat, that it feels like that's not a good, it's like, oh, Robin. But the problem is, the problem is Batman obviously has been made iconic in other TV or other movie stuff. so much, and there's been other different versions of it. The most sort of iconic mainstay version of Robin is the version from I think the Adam West TV show, chat. I think that's got to be true, honestly. Like, I think there's maybe some animated storylines and, you know, the animated characters themselves and all that stuff. Is that offensive foul on Jalen? No, they're going to get blocking on Neesmith, chat. Yeah, Neesmith. Is Neesmith going to draw a charge in the first quarter? I don't know about that. But, yeah, what were we saying? Oh, yeah. What were we saying, chat? Oh, did we just... Oh, Robin. Yeah. I would say the number one Robin... If we did our Robin power rankings. And who is the guy from the TV show, chat? Let's see here. Best, if we just go best Robins, is it going to say, you know, best Robin, you know, Robin Williams, chat? I don't know. Tony Robbins, we start ranking those guys. But best Robins from DC. Let's see what we get here. I feel like, or best interpretations of Robin. I don't know if that's, you know, the right way to phrase it. But, or wait a second. I feel like the old Pedia chat. Hey, yo, whoa. The old Wikipedia has like this character in film section. We can see here. Wait, in other media. Let's see what we get. Robin in other media. Robin and Teen Titans Go, chat. Where does that one rank? Amongst our guys. But live action, Burt Ward. Burt Ward, chat. Yeah, I feel like Burt Ward is still the number one Robin in TV. So the problem is when you say Batman and Robin, and again, no disrespect to Burt Ward, but just from sort of that competitive standpoint, I don't know if that's the Mamba mentality. I don't know if does Burt Ward have Mamba mentality, chat? I didn't know if Adam West Batman had Mamba mentality. I guess they did, because it did seem like they always sort of. Well, I guess Batman did. You know, does he ever get the job done, chat? Like, hey, yo, lock up your criminals or keep the Joker in Arkham, chat. Hey, yo, what's going on here? Like, is it that hard to keep Two-Face under wraps? It might be. You know, these guys are high-level professionals, but also Arkham, top-of-the-line tech. I don't know. It feels like there's got to be a balance in there somewhere. But, yeah, for Robin anyways, I feel like the tactical sort of fun Robin hasn't really had his moment yet in live action in the same way, chat. Look at this. Pacers 24-17. We're over here ranting about Robins. Hey, yo. It's Pacers. I guess the Pacers are a little bit of the Robin in this series, the underdog. Is there a Batman storyline where Robin beats up Batman? It's like, no, there's not. That storyline doesn't even exist, chat. Nobody even thought of it. That's like, get out of here. Robin takes out Batman. But there is some of the, like Jason Todd. I feel like Jason Todd's kind of a gnarly character, chat. He might have, I don't know if Jason Todd, because he has a villain turn in there. And it's Jalen Williams. Speaking of Robin's little banker, chat, that gets him back on track. It is he does have a villain turn in there, so I don't know if as a villain he has like a one-on-one fight where he gets the he wins over Batman, takes the rounds, chat. But Halliburton, there's the top of the key three, chat. 24-17. Okay, so that's where we caught up to the computer score right there. Reggie Miller, chat. People clowning him for his look, the untucked jersey, I don't know, was it short sleeve hoodie every time, or was it just sort of a hoodie with the pulled up sleeve look? I don't know, chat, but the front tuck on the jersey as well too. The hoodie, just Reggie Miller. I don't know if we call him a trendsetter. He might. I feel like he is though. I don't know. But we see the Met Gala 2025. It'd be a Reggie Miller theme. Everybody would be wearing jerseys and hoodies, and that would be, I don't know, jersey theme at the Met Gala, chat. Is that what happens when they put Rem and Sam in charge of the Met Gala? Some year it's gonna be jersey themes. Everybody wear your favorite jersey, and no hockey jerseys, no baseball, not even football, basketball jerseys only. Hey, yo, maybe we well, no, there's no restrictions. I honestly, any jersey's fine, but basketball jerseys are the best jerseys, chat. And it would be even more cool to have just the same, I guess, but that's not the point of the Met. Well, I don't know, chat. I feel like sometimes you do get a little, not necessarily repetitive with the outfits, but again, the color scheme. So thematically, everybody's the same. So there's gonna be a sameness to some degree. It is what it is. But Met Gala, Tyrese Halliburton, Shea at the Met Gala, chat. I feel like maybe both of them were at the Met Gala already. Obviously, how Halliburton, we were kind of disrespecting Halliburton for his star powerness, but he was, of course, I guess he was in the WWE, chat. So does that say something? But you also, you had Brunson in the WWE. So Brunson, New York, there's a big market thing with his team as well too, that you think would help out his marketability as a player. And then Halliburton being from the smaller market team, again, him himself as a player not necessarily getting that same sort of respect as a I guess again a marketable guy, but that's still a stage and still like relying on some names, some fame, ability. It's the sports world. It's all kind of intertwined to some degree, but I mean, maybe we wouldn't know the wrestlers the same way the wrestling fans might know the basketball players, but I feel like then again, especially in the sports world, like if a wrestler was like on First Take, it'd be like, okay, even if they don't have the name tag up there, you're like, okay, this guy's probably from the WWE. You can at least do some deducting. And again, maybe because some of the NFL guys as well too, you go, okay, at least I haven't seen that guy on like the Steelers defensive line at least yet. So who knows? Maybe it's like, okay, this is the WWE. Roman Reigns is like announcing that he's gonna go play. So maybe I don't know if Roman Reigns would be the guy as well too. His health and stuff. Chad, is Roman Reigns ready to go play in the NFL? But whoever, Cody Reigns, who's the new guy? Who is the guy? Because he had the big ESPN tour. Was it last year when he was going for the belt? They had the big storylines, or was that earlier this year? I don't remember. But I mean, hey, we do remember his ESPN tour. I think that was last year, Chad. It had to have been last summer. Because I think we were a little bit locked into ESPN more last year than we have been this year. Shout out to ESPN. It is what it is. It's just, schedules change, things move around. It is what it is. So, who will be back in, chat? There'll be a phase of our life where we're traveling around. We're just in hotel rooms. And be like, oh, First Take is back on again. Definitely all-time it's like, what are we doing in a hotel room, chat? But, all-time hotel room show for business. Hey, yo, chat. But, 24-17, Indiana, 8 for 10 after an 0 for 8 start. Whoa, the fire, chat. They got the fire. Jonathan Gannon. Did they bring Jonathan Gannon in to do a halftime speech or a mid-first quarter speech for the Pacers? You got the fire in your gut, Pacers? You want to win the title? You got the fire in your gut? At least give us a Game 7. If Oklahoma City wins the finals on their home court in Game 7, it's like, okay, they've earned. Game 6, it's not enough, chat. It's not enough. Game 7, it's like, okay, they've earned it. It's fair. They've proven the point. They go back home, and I kind of like it when teams win on their home court as well too. I gotta be honest, like it as a non-Spur, what do we say there? We're combining our thoughts, chat. As a non-fan of either of these teams, as a Spurs fan, it's like we kind of just want the best storylines to happen, and in the moment, anyways, it's like it's more fun. It's the vibe of the game is more fun if OKC is winning. Maybe they don't need to necessarily be winning by 30. Like, again, we do want a fun game. But because they're at home, the vibe of the game is more fun if they're winning. So, there's nothing I can do about that, chat. It is what it is. That's also, so I guess that's part of earning the Game 7, chat. You earn the Rem and Sam fandom in Game 7. It is what it is. You earn home court. You earn the cheers of Rem and Sam. I guess unless, of course, you're playing against the Spurs. But make no mistake, the Spurs back in the mix, chat, will be right back to the 1 seed again. Wembanyama, Dylan Harper, and Steph Castle. I mean, come on, lock it in. It is what it is. It's definitely a finals team. I mean, Jalen, Chet, and Shea. Chet, what's really the difference? You got Steph Castle could be a little Jalen Williams. Shea. I mean, Shea was definitely a better scorer in college than, of course, Dylan Harper and Steph Castle. Maybe, as we watch some of the Dylan Harper watch some of the Dylan Harper tape. Maybe, I don't know if that gets proven wrong, but I have seen a couple of highlights. We're experts now. We've watched a couple of Dylan Harper highlights, but at least, the vibe of the game just off the first couple of plays that we've seen. It's like, okay, at least he's not stylistically jumping off the page similar to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, if you get what we're saying. But, it also, Shea, he was a really effective mid-range scorer. I don't know if we go back and pull up the college stats, chat, because he's a tough one as well, too. 11th overall pick. Those are always the I guess both of these guys, chat, the 11th overall pick. Am I crazy? Tyrese Halliburton was obviously the 11th pick. But, yeah, Shea was also the 11th pick. He got traded, of course, from Charlotte to OKC. Charlotte, chat. Hey, sorry to bring that back up once again. Just another dynasty started because they traded a guard Hey, yo, you had Kobe and Shea. The two best guards of the century, chat. They both played out there. Both were drafted by the Hornets. And the best guard of this century owned the team. And it's LaMelo, chat. Once LaMelo gets traded, he's gonna be the third best guard of this century. Hey, yo, lock it in. But I mean, sorry, Hornets fans. It is what it is. But Hornets fans aren't watching basketball right now. They're off doing something else, chat. Hey, yo, the Hornets fans don't watch basketball anymore. They just wander around. They just are fans of Hornets fashion and Hornets gear, and they go. Maybe there's some people in Charlotte that just need something to do, and they go to Hornets games early on. But we're not disrespecting the Charlotte fans here. Hey, yo, there's a dedicated Charlotte fan base out there. It's just not always the easiest of times, chat. But his college stats. Wait, where are they at here? Yeah. 1 year in college anyways, 48% from field and 40% from three as well too. And I kind of forgot he was 40% from three in college, because I remember him not necessarily, I mean, obviously early in the NBA, of course, and even still, he's not a 40% three-point shooter, but his vibe being projected as well too was that he was not going to be a three-point shooter. So I was like, hey, he was still a 40% three-point shooter in college. It's like, and I guess now that, again, as the storylines are being unlocked in the memory again, I was like, okay, the argument of that, it's like, well, is he gonna shoot threes in the league? Well, he was 40% in college, and I mean, it's kind of both things have been true. It's like, okay, he wasn't necessarily automatic in the league to start, but he's now developed to the point where if he's taking threes, as a person watching the game, you feel totally comfortable with him taking threes. And there was a point as well too, even last year, chat, a point to where he was second in the MVP voting. And I don't know if we go here, his percentages. I don't know if we pull up his percentages, but his page is already pulled up here, chat. Percentage, yeah, 35 to 37. And, he was 34 2 years ago, so it's the more dramatic increase of, the totality of the journey, chat. Anyway, 30% when he starts to get, like, a full-time role there in 21-22. And I guess he was 33 minutes a game in 21-20 as well, too, 23 points a game that year. And then 24 game and 56 games, but down to 30% for three, and then 34, 35, 37 the next 3 years, steadily increasing. But yeah, just that little 35 to 37% jump of the confidence of, okay, if you're a defense, you feel like, okay, I don't know necessarily what the game plan is, game to game coached up, like, okay, for him as well too. And with him as a main guy, like, I guess he is obviously sort of the best version of whatever he is as a player in the draft. Like, I don't want to just start throwing names out or whatever of other guards. And I guess not every guard comparison is similar as well, too. I guess, like, who's 11th pick in the draft? In a couple drafts, chat. Sohan was 8th pick in the draft, so Sohan just a couple of picks off from winning the MVP, chat. Ayo, Vassell the 11th pick in the draft as well? Here, let me go back and look at that real quick. As well. And I guess that would have even have been the year before, chat. Oh, wait, 17? We're in the 17 draft. 18 draft? 17 draft for Vassell. No, wait, which draft was Vassell, chat? 19 draft? I don't even remember which draft our own players were drafted in. 20? Okay, chat, this is getting better. Vassell's getting younger as it goes on. Okay, 11th overall pick for Vassell. So Vassell will win the MVP of the league, chat. Or I guess Vassell will be on the Spurs when they make the finals, because Halliburton and Shea. I guess Tyrese Halliburton's not necessarily winning the MVP. Vassell will make All-NBA, I guess. Oh, Halliburton was the same draft, chat. Okay, I'm foolish. Halliburton was the pick, right? Halliburton, are we remembering, like, did we have a dream, chat, about Halliburton being the 11th pick? I don't know. We go to the chat GPT and see what happens. What if Tyrese Halliburton went to the Spurs? I mean, we know that probably goes well in his career as well. Is his career worse in San Antonio? I don't know. And I guess, again, he didn't necessarily get drafted by the Pacers as well, too. He goes to Sacramento, and he does play in Sacramento. Like, we're making fun of the Hornets for drafting Shea, but it's a little bit different. Again, they're drafting him on, the trade on draft night is brutal as well. There's never a good point in NBA history where you're like, okay, well, we had the rights to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as a player, and we traded him with the value wasn't necessarily, there's just never a good point, obviously. Of course, emerge. Maybe you get like a sophomore emerging. Of course, like the real locked in draft people were, hearing about Wembanyama, like, maybe as, like, a freshman, maybe even before. You know, that's, like, of course, as crazy as you'll get with some of the scouting stuff. I guess Paige Beckers is honestly an AOJ. You know, we don't want to start canceling reporters here, but that is honestly, of course, because what was, I don't even remember what grade the guy was tweeting out about, but it was like, okay, this is wild. And then, obviously, you know, Paige Beckers, #1 overall pick. Seems like there's all-NBA, all-WNBA MVP upside there, potential as well, too, with her career. But, you know, you'll go that 1 year as a senior. So Cooper Flagg is like, he plays, you know, even give him his junior year, Chad. He's going to get junior, senior, a year at Duke, 3 seasons, and then he's got a rookie season in the NBA. So if that's even like a neutral season, you know, the first year on that rookie deal, then by the end of his rookie deal, he's played just, you know, he's just as far removed from that rookie season in, you know, as he is the other way as well, too. So, again, just the amount of development that you can have as a player in that period is obviously just you know, crazy leaps you can take. And the moving on from the, like we were saying, just moving on from that guy at draft night is obviously a little bit more defensible. But when you have the player, of course, on your team, that is a little bit more brutal. Not to, so now we've made Hornets fans mad and Kings fans mad, but this is what happens. Don't worry, I guess. I was going to say we're going to make Pacers fans mad, Chad, because they traded. You know, unfortunately, we can't make Pacers or Thunder fan mad for trading Paul George because both these teams are in the finals now. So that's a different version of it, I guess. That's the trade's gone right. But how many games, Chad? 109 games for Sacramento. I mean, in 2 years, he still might be one of the best players ever that played for Sacramento, Chad. Hey, yo, 13 a game. What was he? 13 and 6, 46% from the field. 41%, you know, better efficiency, you know, equal sort of overall efficiency. I guess his effective field, yeah, some of his overall numbers were better, of course, in Indiana. I guess he is just a better player. But that's funny, Chad. 109 games, that's like, I mean, you know, Sacramento has been around for a while, but, or, you know, the Kings, I guess, have been around for a while. But still, it's not like it's the most stacked, especially in the recent years with some of the leaders. So, I don't know if he's going to, like, yeah, have a ton of career leader type stuff here, Chad. But points per, what was he? He was only 13 points per game. So I imagine still 20-ish points per game. Oscar, okay, is the leader at 29. Jerry Lucas, I mean, you're down to 19 in the top 10. 3-point shooting, I mean, that's a little bit, you know, this is one of the best 3-point shooters in Kings history. I don't know if that necessarily counts for this conversation, only being there a year and a half. 3 points per game, 3-point attempts per game, so makes and attempts. Where's percentage? Oh, percentages, chat. We're seeing percentages. I don't see any turnover or 3-point percentages, though. Why not, chat? Why wouldn't they? Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Anthony Peeler, 48%. Whoa. Okay, Halliburton. Okay, top 10. Tied with the Flalo. A Flalo at 41%. Jim Les, 41%. Gatino Mobley. Keon Ellis. Kevin Gamble. Oh, Zach LaVine makes the leaderboard, chat. Hey, yo, okay. So Zach LaVine's been there for 30 games, 44%. Seth Curry, 45%. George Hill, 45%. And then Anthony. So did Anthony Peeler play like 8 games? Wait a second. Anthony Peeler. Let's see. That sounds like a guy, though. Oh, yeah. He had a career, chat. Okay, he was there for 1 season and I guess shot 48%. That in his 1 year. Whoa, Peeler lights out, chat. 2 a game. Two attempts per game. Making 1 per 2 a game. But, I mean, still, though. I mean, you know, you'll take it. 25 for 30. Oh, wait a second. 68 for 141 is, I guess, 48% for our guy, Anthony Peeler. So, I don't know if he counts as well, too. The 3-point leaders for the Kings, a little bit sketchy, chat, for percentages. But, again, that's kind of a sketchy qualification level for that stat. So, Pacers with the lead after the first quarter. McConnell spinning into the lane again, chat. Keeping up his impressive performance after game 1. After, I guess, being the one sort of, or not the one, but, you know, one of the few. Sort of, and the most obvious sort of best piece of the last game. And now drawing an offensive foul as well, too. So that's on Wiggins. I mean, they got the sort of important Wiggins game in the last game. And I mean, you get the, of course, the role player boost of the home game as well, too. So I mean, McConnell sort of, you know, again, it didn't matter for the results of the game, but overcame that as well, too, you know, just from a performance standpoint. So it's like, you know, get McConnell back at home, chat. Hey, yo, McConnell with the way he's playing. McConnell going to go for 30 tonight? Hey, yo, where's he at right now? 4? 2 for 3. Okay, 6 minutes. He maybe got a little bit too late of a start for 30, chat. But a 20-pointer for McConnell. Oh, Mathurin with the double dribble. That didn't get deflected? I don't know what the rules are there, chat. Oh, I just spilt the whole energy drink, chat. That was close. Unfortunately, I did crush the can in the process of trying to catch it, so now I've got a dented can for the rest of the time. Whoa, ale. But mission accomplished. It was saved, so we'll take that. Much better than, I guess, catching it on the, you know, Will Smith, Enemy of the State, when the dog just knocks over his drink or whatever, all over all the papers, chat. Because we never do figure out what happens with those, if I'm mistaken. Do we see the wine-soaked documents ever again, chat? There's not a post-credit scene where Will Smith's just back in the office, just reprinting out all the documents. But Turner in the corner for 3. Oh! No good, chat. Turner once again. You almost, it's like Turner. Oh. Did Turner even take a shot in the last game, chat? Again, I guess just because of sort of the way the last game played out, not necessarily being the most competitive game over the course of the game. It's like where some of the performances lost. But let's get a refresher, chat, on some of the scoring from some of these guys here. But I don't remember a ton. Yeah, 3 for 5 from Turner. Okay, 6 for 7 from the free throw line, though. Was fine. Okay on the scoring number. Probably one of his better games so far, honestly, in the finals. Uh-oh, chat. Uh-oh, poor Turner. It is what it is. Right as free agency's about to hit. Our guy Miles Turner, don't do it. There's a 3 for 10. Okay, we'll stop looking at the Miles Turner stats. We don't want to be the cause for any problem. You know, the man's already, the tape for the finals is already going to be a problem with these agents, chat. But maybe it's just some of the missed shots and stuff as well too. I don't know if that's more encouraging or not. If you're his agent, you just going, no, he's just missing shots. He's fine. He's fine. It is what it is. Oh, timeout Pacers, chat. Thunder keeping it close, 1-point game. J-Dub and Shea just continuing to attack, chat. Oh, the beautiful spin move. Speaking of Turner. Hey, yo, chat. Gets Turner to bite. So that is unfortunately a tough, because the finals are the complete opposite almost, chat. Wait a second, what's this? Oh, this is the, why am I blanking on the name of this movie? Naked Gun. I was like, what's this heist movie? But it's the opening for the new Naked Gun. Shout out Liam Neeson, I guess. But what were we saying about the Pacers there, chat? Hey, yo. Thunder, Pacers, Halliburton, playing. Oh, Turner? Yeah, the finals are the one thing that, like, you could actually just, you just get overpaid for playing well in the finals. Turner, whatever he wants is, what did we look up, chat? Is $40 million a year demand? Hey, yo. Whoa, Miles Turner. But, you love to see it, I guess. But if you play well in the finals, I mean, $40 million is maybe, I don't want to say, maybe more demandable is fair, chat. It is fair. I don't know if it's like the execs only watch the finals, but the valuation on the finals is about as heavy, about as weighted, I guess, as anything that, for performance-wise, that a player's going to put up. So regular season or otherwise, I mean, playoffs in total as well too, but the Pacers sort of overachieving of the playoffs, and then if Turner just played well in the finals, it's like, oh, well, lock that in. That guy's going to make, I guess we have to give that guy $30 million a year. So after, okay, I guess, however you want to phrase it, finals, I still think he'll be fine. But that'll be okay for Indiana as well too, because their ability to retain him. And then it may be one of those things that sort of works itself out, where sort of they get Turner on the number that everybody feels good about. The team feels good. The team building stuff feels like it's not so compromised. Because again, especially in the second apron stuff, the fine line of the team building stuff is crazy. And, chat, I don't know if the second apron stuff is affecting now even how these people are thinking about their teams, because, the Lakers now have just sold their team, and I don't think that maybe for that team, well, maybe a little bit. There was listening to Windhorst and the Hoop Collective pod talk about the sale after it went down. Of course, the evaluation that they got for it was a really good evaluation, and I imagine, and they were saying that there were some votes and stuff as well too about changing leadership in the organization, and I'm sure that just in moving on from owning the organization in general for that family has been in conversations for a while, but the price is obviously right after the Lakers get the $10 billion valuation for them to move on. And the guy that's buying it up as well too, as you're reading about it, it's like, okay, he has the rights. He's been buying up some ownership stock, so it's like it makes sense that he would continue to press for that as well too. And as they were pointing out in the Hoop Collective pod, it's not like if you're looking at the cash that the previous, this previous Lakers owners group has now had outside of the actual Lakers team itself. It's not like they have one of those teams, a little sort of the Mark Davis situation with the Raiders where, hey, shout out Mark Davis, I guess. But, it's like, okay, the man owns the Raiders, but sort of what else? And that's not necessarily a bad thing as well too. And I guess, at the end of the day, if you want to invest in your team, invest in your team. It's still fine. I mean, if we were running teams, chat, it's like, okay, we don't, how much money do we need to make to run this NBA team? We're not selling it at all. We'll go in the red to own this NBA team, I guess. It's not, the point is not even to make money. We just get to run a basketball team, I guess. But if you're actually making real business moves as a NBA owner, like the Lakers family getting a great deal, and now the Lakers as an organization having like deep cash pockets to work with outside is a move that makes sense for definitely both sides. As I guess the sort of vague Lakers organization as a non-person entity where, is there an AI brain running the Lakers secretly? But the idea of the second apron as well too, I think, is going to be interesting to see how it affects some of these guys, because I mean the league the league owners, of course, that are entering the league are getting richer and richer. I mean, as you would expect, Chaz. I mean, the league prices are going up as well too, so they're gonna have to get richer. But it's like the sort of the affordability. I don't know if we go back and look again. It's like the guys that were buying teams when the league was early. But I think if you did go, it wasn't necessarily like the premier billionaire businessmen of not to still obviously great businessmen, but in terms of the money standpoint, I just would have to do the research on that. But obviously the money now is in the actual people, and the people throwing their names in the ring as well too. I mean, you got Bezos trying to get a team. Like Bezos might get the Seattle team, Chad. Like, I mean, we talk about money in the league. But again, for even the sort of however you want to tier it up owner rankings, like even a guy like MJ as well too, who MJ probably has more. I mean, not even probably. MJ does have, I would guess, more cash than the Buss family outside of basketball, because actually Jordan Brand, chat. Like the Buss family just doesn't have Jordan Brand. I guess we could go through and look at what assets does the Buss family have, but they don't necessarily have that Jordan Brand type of thing. But even Jordan doesn't have, I guess, the type of money that this new ownership group is bringing in now as well too. And if just with the second apron stuff and how just how strict it is, especially with the repeater tax and stuff, like the teams can definitely get really expensive. And I don't know if it's gonna, again, it's like, guys gonna start selling their teams because of the second apron, but it is. And with Windhorst kind of pointing out too, is there some international money that's starting to influence the sale as well too. I guess maybe not even, again, teams, guys, like, are they going to sell full stakes in their teams? But maybe you see some more people. It's like, okay, well, now do we have to sell off parts of the team in a, minority stake to bring in some international funding? And now they don't necessarily have, and I don't think that some of the international stuff can directly even own the NBA, but you can, through funds and stuff. Again, Windhorst, listen to Windhorst. He can break it down better than me, obviously, but you can still get involved. So it's like, okay, if we need to start getting into international influence, but it's like, okay, is this sort of the gateway now for these people that need more money, where it's like, okay, if we were gonna have to build not, you can't say any source of anything of a similar team because, of course, the Thunder and the Pacers have both built pretty good roster managed teams. But for these big market teams that are going to want to get these star players and stuff, like, maybe there is a different sort of funding that's going to, it's just like, we need more money, chat. We need more money. Ayo, league's getting too expensive. It is what it is. But maybe just, and as they pointed out in the pod as well, so, we'll just be the chat GPT summary for the Hoop Collective pod, I guess. But, as they were pointing out on that as well, too, about how that ownership group has turned around the Dodgers by building out the actual organization itself. And it's like, okay, yeah, there's spending on the roster, but there's also spending on all of the general managers, the owners, the trainers, just, the top to bottom organizational elements of it as well, too. And you think, okay, you actually build that kind of organization there, and then now you still even have the pockets to go spend on players as well, too. Like, what does an expensive team look like as well from year to year? Because, they have a young star, obviously, in Doncic, but a young star that's still going to need re-signed. And it's not like they were able to have him on the years that they could build the team where they had the benefit of him being on the younger contract. I mean, again, you'll take, of course, Luka Doncic at any point of the peak of his powers if you can get him, chat. Hey, yo. But it still is a thing that is a salary cap factor, I guess. But, speaking of Luka Doncic, chat, hey, yo, what's up with Luka? The last two guys that have owned his team have traded him, or I guess traded him. What trying to say here? The last two owners have sold the team. Hey, yo, Cuban, he drafts Luka. He's like, well, now's the time to sell. Let me just get rid of the team now. Genie Bus trades for Luka Doncic. He's like, okay, perfect. Now we can go. It's all set. And maybe not even Luka, chat. Maybe LeBron. Who knows? And Genie Bus just like, LeBron, once he leaves the Lakers, we're done. We're cooked. LeBron is holding the Lakers down right now financially. And there might be some truth to that, honestly, as well, because, I mean, if you looked at the non-LeBron years with the Lakers, I don't know, again, we go like the Forbes valuation with the team, it's still fine. But the competitiveness, the vibes of the team, that team was bad, Chad. Hey, yo. Whoa. It is what it is. I mean, the records of that team, I guess we should say, were just not amongst the top of the league. Might be a more professional way to put it. But regardless, it wasn't until LeBron and then they trade for Davis, and then it's like, okay, well, we have those two guys. There's just going to be a baseline for how competitive we are. And then, a different version of that, the two-star system with LeBron and Luka this year. And maybe you just think, okay, do we just pass the torch to Austin Reeves, and now our new two-star system is LeBron and Reeves? But there is also like, oh, okay, hey, now it's like if LeBron has, a couple more years. LeBron always has a couple more years left, I guess. But still, I mean, it's sooner rather than later, Chad. Hey, yo, it is what it is at this point. But there is going to be a day where it's like, what's the financial sort of star power, direction? Again, it's not, they're fine. The evaluation is crazy good right now, Chad. But, yeah, shout out to Luka Doncic for forcing Genie Bus to sell. So, and Mark Cuban to sell. It is what it is. Who knows if Luka Doncic is just the guy that actually is, we're saying like, who does Pelinka have like blackmail on Nico Harrison where he could trade Davis for Luka Doncic, but maybe Luka Doncic has the blackmail, chat. Maybe Luka Doncic is the one just maneuvering all this stuff, and he's like, who's going to own teams? I want to be on the Lakers, control destinies. Luka is really the one that is, chessboard, chat, controlling all the moves. It is what it is. And I love now they feel like, okay, we can start running the Game 7 promos, chat. The Pacers are having a really good first quarter, second quarter, first half. McConnell is just playing the last couple. McConnell wants to win the finals, Chad. Hey, yo. I saw Sam sent me something that was it's like a TJ McConnell is. It was in the line of one of those like TJ McConnell is the Michael Jordans of Matthew Dellavedova's. I don't think he was the Michael Jordan. It was something a little less aggressive than that. But, just the great version of that kind of player, which is definitely true. And maybe, again, them saying sort of the Michael Jordan-ish version of it is what they're trying to point at. But he is, I think, a little bit better than, again, a guy like Dellavedova as well, too, where Dellavedova, it felt like there was, he could definitely, if he was heat check sort of feeling it, it's like, oh, Dellavedova, he hit a couple of threes. Now we're getting some offense out of him as well, too. But he was an energy defensive guy, going to stick with the team's best guard and, make their life difficult for 4 quarters. And McConnell's definitely going to give you some defensive pustness as well, too. But offensively, like McConnell, again, can kind of run it. McConnell's running second units. McConnell's a good bench point guard. McConnell's one of the best 6-man point guards in the league. And we've seen him now, over the course of the last couple of games, affect the finals. And again, I think Dellavedova, if we looked at some of his scoring numbers, they would be similar. So that's where, again, it's like, if McConnell is the Michael Jordan version of this guy, then I get what they're saying. Just like, okay, Jordan chat. I get it. It's crazy. But is he the best version? Is he the Tracy McGrady of Matthew Dellavedova's, maybe? But Delly, okay, he had the 120-point game, I guess, against Golden State in that win, 96-91. But it's 17 shots, 5 for 11 from 2, I was going to say, from the free throw line. 4 for 5 from the free throw line. Then had 10 the next game, 2 for 9 from 3, 3 for 14. And then, you start going, okay, maybe Dellavedova, we don't want him taking so many shots, Chad. It is what it is. He goes down 2 for 9, and then 0 for 3 in the last game. Nembhard, Chad, is that Tony Bradley? So they found something in the Tony Bradley minutes in the last couple of games. McConnell, Nembhard, Tony Bradley, Toppin, Nesmith. Chat. The Pacers. It's the feistiness of the second unit that is keeping them in the lead right now. That is making it look like they are having the advantage in the early game. But yeah, McConnell, I don't know, again, did he get to 20 in the last game? I don't know if he had that exact performance. But I feel like his total final points would have to be higher. Dellavedova had, let's see here, chat, if we could do math, 35 finals points. What did he have? 45, chat? 20, 30, 45. 0 points in 9 minutes in an overtime loss in game 1. So, yeah, McConnell definitely has to have more than 35 points as of right now, chat. I feel like, I guess you start adding it up. If he got like half of that in the last game and then, did he get 18 points across the first 3 games, chat? You would assume that he was doing okay on that number. Advanced stats. We don't get totals, chat. Where's the totals? Oh, wait, they're right here. Our guy, TJ McConnell, is at, right now, 56. Yeah, chat, he's cooking. 56. 11 points a game. 60% from 3, 55% from the field. TJ McConnell literally can't miss, chat. And he's keeping it up tonight as well, too. And this is impressive. I don't know. 3-pointer in the corner by Nesmith, chat. They're up by largest lead of the series. Whoa, 12-point lead. They weren't up by more than 12 in that game 4? Chat. Maybe I just showed you how impressive the Thunder have been. Even in their one game where we're like, the Pacers, chat, they're figuring them out. They're playing with them. They couldn't even get a 12-point lead in that game. They couldn't even barely get out of the teens. And then Hartenstein just immediately, chat, the cut baseline, the little lob. But that's a good 3 by Nesmith right over Hartenstein. And Nesmith, speaking of points and stats, chat, Nesmith leading the playoffs in 3-pointers. You have the advantage of course, being in the finals, and it played a lot of games. But still, there's pretty good 3-pointers that have been playing this long. Anthony Edwards led the season in 3-pointers, so he made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. You would assume that he would be in and maybe he's close as well, too, chat. Unfortunately, I guess Isaiah Joe wasn't making his 3-pointers. He could have been in the mix as well, too. Or a guy like, Bridges and stuff. But again, Nesmith has been efficient and lights out this entire this entire playoffs. And I guess there hasn't been another player as well too that has been, that crazy 3-pointer type guy. As Halliburton's definitely had his efficiency and he's had his big scoring games, but again, he's not leading the playoffs in threes. Halliburton's probably second though, or up there. The percentage, the points, and then the total makes. Nesmith again, but Nesmith takes mostly threes, chat. So that's a part of it. And did we just get a Mike Breen, chat? Bang! 13-point game. 4 minutes left in the second half. Pacers crowd is on their feet, chat. The turnover, Halliburton with the steal gets it right back to transition to 3. I mean, beautiful ball movement. But, yeah, the Thunder a little bit, of course, lethargic, chat, if we're saying that right. Oh, Reggie Miller, chat, not lethargic. Hey, yo. The man is going to – I mean, does he think he's going to get a ring, chat? Reggie Miller definitely thinks he's going to get an honorary ring if he participates a lot. Say, I'm gonna be so engaged as a fan that they're going to feel like I have to get a ring for this team. I mean, it is fun, though, that he does get that opportunity because you think of course, NBA champions that never won, and his name is right up on top of the list. I don't know if he correlates exactly with all the legacy rankings and the top guys that never won a ring, but again, his run in the media, his popularity as a player. I mean, even back when he was playing as well, too, his just fame as a player as well was just, he's always one of the more popular players. So Barkley is just I don't know, again, know what the list is, like it's the all-time rankings. You put in Malone over Barkley, Stockton over Barkley, AO, but Barkley's the number 1, chat. It is what it is. Barkley, the Stockton, and that's trying to be respectful to Barkley, chat. It's not we're not trying to be Shaq here. We're trying to say that Barkley's as good as they are, has ever played in the NBA. It's just unfortunate that the team success thing didn't add up. I guess the point, not to linger on the Charles thing, to get back to Reggie Miller, the point being, well, I guess, okay, well, we had to bring Charles in for this reason. Charles, he's connected to a couple franchises, and he is definitely connected to Phoenix as well, too, there for the success in getting that team to the finals. And, would definitely, I have to go back and remember, like, his interaction with Phoenix when they were making that run. But I just don't, and, was like Sarver still the owner there and stuff? Who knows if that, what it looks like now. But Reggie is just tied to Indiana in a way that not a lot of guys are. So again, you get the combo of the guy that never run the ring with the tie to the franchise. That's where I guess the Stockton and Malone piece go into it as well too, in that they're sort of tied to the Jazz that way, because Dirk is sort of the other guy who would have been in that category and of course had the 2011 run, which elevated into a different role. But you think, like, a guy like LeBron, of course, had that one, and he bounced around teams, but he, of course, had storylines, or even MJ was like, oh, could MJ get past the Pistons? Can he win the big one? But it was, of course, early storylines for him, years 5 through 7, and again, it was early because he was able to accomplish it by year 7. But again, they started to sort of form in year 5, where I'm sure unfortunately for guys like Barkley, you just get questioned your entire career, or again like Chris Paul for a modern era as well too. You just get the storylines kind of always linger there. But then some guys as well too. It's sort of the urgency of it, and the urgency, I guess, of the legacy standpoint of it in a way, sort of definitely heightens when you get to the end of your career, the narratives around it as well too. But again, just having to actually like overcome that sort of thing. Like Reggie Miller is like doesn't actually win the ring with the Pacers, but he wins a participation ring in a little bit of a way. Like if Conley, maybe for the Grizzlies, chat, if he, when he retires, goes back and hangs out. ChatGPT early chat. Okay, who are the top 10 players to never win a ring? We're gonna count Stockton and Malone as one slot on the list, chat. Ayo, Stockton, John Stockton / Malone count as one, chat. Whoa, count as one spot. The Jazz, the same run as well too. They get to go on the list together, chat. It is what it is. The duo, inseparable. Hey, yo, chat. It is what it is. Number 1. Oh, it ranked to number 1. I guess combined together, chat. You get, just doubles all the stats anyways. Nemesis, Michael Jordan. Okay, Barkley, Iverson, Nash, Ewing, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, George Gervin, and Dominique Wilkins at number 10. So, yeah, Chris Paul, of course, is definitely tied. He's definitely tied to the Hornets, definitely tied to the Clippers, but Chris Paul's a little bit of a rogue sort of NBA hero for sure. Steve Nash definitely tied to Phoenix, even though he had a run with the Lakers in there, and then and the Mavs as well too, we should say. But and definitely a lot of early years with the Mavs. So the Phoenix run is definitely like the peak of his career, but it is, I think, maybe a little bit of a different thing. And Iverson as well too. Obviously drafted and then got the team to the finals against the Lakers. But he doesn't really, I feel like, again, Iverson doesn't even get the storylines of like he didn't win a ring the same way Barkley did. And Barkley almost has sort of the same kind of matchup. Like it's almost a credit to Barkley that we think that it is this going to make sense yet? It's a credit to Barkley that we discredit him for winning a title because we think that he could have won a title against Jordan, but we credit Iverson for making the title and losing to the Lakers because we don't think he could have won. Again, does that make sense, chat? You get what I'm saying? Like, Barkley was playing against Michael Jordan in the finals, and Jordan's the greatest player of all time. And it's like, okay, if you're going to lose a finals to anybody, you might as well just lose it to literally the greatest player of all time. And Iverson had this greatest-ish duo, not greatest, it's just particularly just isn't actually the number one, number two, number three, but they had arguably the greatest duo in NBA history in Shaq and Kobe playing that duo, and he did get a game. Like, I'm not trying to take away from Iverson being, it's as impressive. I think it's as impressive as anybody else says it is, but I'm just saying, do we have to give Barkley that? You don't necessarily look at it and say Iverson never won a ring. Like that game against taking that game off the Lakers in the finals, you go like, oh yeah, Iverson won the ring. Like he proved that whatever the level you need to get to as a winning player, he got there. And then just the Lakers are just, that team that's just 2 levels above that and impossible to take down. And I don't know why MJ and the Bulls can't necessarily be that. Again, I don't want to discredit Barkley by saying, there's no way that he doesn't get a win over MJ in a playoff series. But I'm just saying that it does feel like that narrative definitely haunts him a little bit more in the media not criticism, but the media storylines of it compared to some of the other guys. Pat Ewing as well too, but that's where you start getting into some of the different expectations. Whoa, Halliburton, chat. Halliburton for deep three. 56-39. So the Thunder, chat, I mean, again, this is the NBA Finals at 7 games. It's the advantage of getting the home court advantage is you get to have that Game 7 at home. And what I was saying, earlier is if they are in a Game 7 in Oklahoma City and they win in that type of environment, that's sort of a earn not given sort of situation. Down to the last second. But this doesn't feel like an earn not given type game, chat, and that doesn't. And I'm saying, regardless of what happens in Game 7, chat, I'm not trying to call him out too much here and say, is this an irredeemable game? I'm just saying that this team is supposed to set the tone as a champion in the league for the next handful of years here. Is there a sort of as a young team as well, too, that final move, is that something that they need to still, them figuring out that last step of becoming those champions? But the effort shown tonight is one, and that's what I'm saying. If they go out and the Pacers get a win here tonight, they play the game of their lives, or the Thunder are just like missing some shots, but there's still some defense, and there's still energy. It just doesn't feel like the same energy as their chat. Do we get the defense in the second half to ramp up in the same way? I feel like Williams and Shea as shot makers have been really good at showcasing their abilities and are still generating looks here for them. I mean, the banker there by Jalen Williams. Speaking of chat, they might be. They are the only two keeping them in the game at this point. 16 and 15, Chad. It's just Shea and Jalen Williams going toe-to-toe with the Pacers. And it has felt like it's been almost working its way there a little bit over the last couple of games. You got Chet at 2 and 7 from the field tonight, Chet. 0 for 2 from 3. But it does feel a little ISO heavy in the first half. Doesn't feel like we've seen the same quite defensive intensity in the first half as well too, chat. But Dort's picking up Halliburton full court now with 1:40 left in the second quarter. So we'll see how this affects the Halliburton of it all. But they just immediately run him 2 screens, chat. The switch back to Nembhard, who has Dort on him. Keep it away from Dort's guy. Halliburton, chat. So just keep getting him into switches, getting into the lane. They're just running Halliburton through like 7 screens every possession and just saying, okay, Halliburton, you're going to get open. Eventually, the guys are going to get lost and running through all these screens. And at some point, there's going to be a driving lane there. Take it. There's going to be a three-point opportunity. Oh, Chet loses it. Nemhard scoops it up, Chet. Is it Neesmith? Is it Halliburton? It's Halliburton in the corner. Oh, you have a three there. You had a three. Great quick close by Caruso. Forces the tough shot by Halliburton there. So that was a great close, Chet. Energy getting out to the corner. Stayed in front of him the whole time. Oh! Halliburton, the deflection. Halliburton deflecting has been... Oh! Siakam! Is that J-Dub that he just put on the poster? Oh, Siakam, chat. Pacers up 20. Is he going to try to steal the finals MVP from one of them? Hey, yo. Yeah, 16 points off of turnovers. 2 for the Oklahoma City. It's felt almost a little reverse on the defensive end. And Halliburton specifically, I mean, again, it's different because we're watching Shea and Jalen Williams also putting up impressive scoring numbers. And when the Thunder's defense is locked down, it's like the Pacers can't move. But the energy and the deflections and the overall result of turning offense to defense is still working in this first half for him. And that's, in the first half buzzer caps off a brilliant first half for the Pacers. 64 points. 64 has to be the most, chat. They had 60, I believe, was it game 4? 116 is their highest total for a game. They've been in that similar range for the entire time. So, 64 as well, too, in the first half in that game, chat. So we're pacing for another similar game 4 situation, I guess, where the Thunder storm out and take a third quarter lead. Or, win the third quarter anyways, I guess we should say. And the Pacers, a dominant fourth quarter there. Oh, chat, we got a little Barry White on the outro. Oh, you love to hear it. 2025, big Barry White year in the rotation. It is what it is. Can we get a little Let the Music Play here, chat? Let the music play. What does Barry White sound like? Chat, when he's watching basketball? Do we just need to get Barry White drops for plays that we like? When the Siakam, next time Siakam has that poster, just be, oh, yeah. I don't know if that's appropriate for that type of play, chat. Not for that type of play. I just don't know if that's like a, oh, yeah, type play. Is that a poster, or is that kind of like a crossover? I think that might be like a crossover, not even like a single crossover. That's sort of like a string together a bunch of dribble moves type crossover. Oh, yeah. Or honestly, maybe even that, some of the transition offense to defense stuff that has been happening from the Pacers tonight is in that as well too, chat. But incredible effort and energy by the Pacers with the season on the line. This is what you love to see, and even more, I guess, validating the champion. Do we have to validate the runner-up, chat? But again, you get a team like Boston last year. It's like, hey, yo, they go walking into the finals because everybody in the Eastern Conference is hurt, and then Dallas is the 8th seed in a bad matchup, and they walk through the finals, and it's all easy, and it just, are we always going to question if they ever, is that how legit was that finals? Hey, yo, and again, I'm not sitting here questioning the legitness of it. If we were doing the competitive rankings of it, it probably would suffer a little bit, but it doesn't make that title any less valid. But again, the Pacers here with this sort of energy game, it's a little two-handed as well, too, like we're saying, the Thunder, their energy. But the Pacers showing up and playing this level is like, yeah, they are almost a championship-level team. And you don't want to just say, because, like, what is a championship-level team? Is it one sort of ambiguous line that a team gets to, or is it sort of move based on sort of the teams played? And it's like, if the Thunder are the tier of a championship team, then you have to play up to that level. But again, the Pacers have played up to that level quite a bit now over the course of this series, where through 6 games, I mean, you could go back and say like 2.5 to 3 games at this point in terms of just the halves and the quarters of it, that they've outplayed them and hung with them and all that different stuff. Like, they've proven themselves to be a worthy opponent. And yeah, and then it in turn goes to what I'm saying, the Thunder earned, not given. And it's not, the Western Conference was a little bit more, there was an evenness to it, but it wasn't as competitive to the Thunder as we thought. No, they kind of all take each other out before they even get to the Thunder, and it's easy. And then the Eastern Conference, there's no opponent, and it's like, oh yeah, again, the Thunder just walked to the finals. Now it's their year to win the finals. But no, that's not the case, chat. This is a legit run. This is a legit run. And a legit run for the Pacers as well, too. Like, if they win the finals, if they go into Oklahoma City and win a Game 7, you know, even, I mean, how impressive is that alone? But their run in the playoffs as well, too, has been a great run. And OKC has taken down, you know, the Memphis round in the first round was not the most competitive round, but Memphis, again, the West was a solid conference. Like, you still got some dudes on Memphis, and then you go against Jokic, you go against Anthony Edwards, and then you go against this Pacers team in the finals. And it's like, yeah, those are valid opponents all the way through a playoff run to help test and prove their championship chops. There we go. For sure, chat. But not tonight. Hey, yo. Not tonight. 36-17 in that second quarter for Indiana. Halliburton, 12 points, 4 for 9. Again, has to be his most aggressive first half. Turner, 0 for 6. Oh, no, chat. 0 for 6, oh, no's. But 5 for 7 from Siakam. I mean, what's the percent? Oh, 44%. Matherin bringing him down a little bit, chat. Ben Shepherd. And then McConnell, 4 for 6. So it's McConnell, it's Nembhard, it's Siakam, are they, I guess, yeah, run Siakam at the 5, Nesmith, Nembhard, Halliburton, and McConnell, chat. Run the 3 guards together. Hey, yo, who would not like to see that with the way they're playing tonight? Halliburton, plus 25. Hey, yo, with Nesmith at a plus 23, chat. But let's take a quick break, and we will be back to see, chat, if the Thunder, you know, third quarter, if they try to make this interesting here, and if they feel like they actually want to win the title. Do the Thunder want to win the title, chat? Hey, yo, coming up next. Okay, chat, we're back. I think we're operational now. I think we are cooking. But, I mean, chat, broadcast was kind of in the same spot we are. You got to look at the old games. You got to be like, okay, you know, Oklahoma City, they've had some bummers in the past. They've had some pretty tough performances. I mean, they mentioned, I guess, you know, with us just kind of scrolling through a rough signal game here, or a rough signal patch there in the third quarter. I don't know, chat, what was worse there? The Remington Mike or the Thunder's offense? It was both of them not necessarily performing well. I mean, they showed the stats almost worse than before, but they had, of course, a couple games against Denver where they let Denver definitely have control for a majority of the game, and then that major loss against Minnesota as well too. But it did feel like, and I guess they have always felt like the better team in any of the series. They still feel like a quote, you know, a better team than the Pacers in the way. So it is just the sort of, you know, you don't want to call it just the letdown game, but they also are a young team as well too. So there is probably just a mental thing in there about the you know, like actually getting the killer chat. Ayo, you know, you actually put Michael Myers down. Like there is probably that last piece of it they still have to unlock as a team of just having not been there. But also them you know, having to overcome this competitiveness as well too is definitely a pretty impressive thing. So with, and you know, I feel like we have to definitely again give credit to the energy of the Pacers crowd tonight, because I feel like, you know, you don't want to say that the Pacers crowd has willed the Pacers into this performance, but it does feel like the collective energy of whatever is going on in this building, chat, has definitely, I think it's, you know, it's what you want from home crowd. It's both positively impacted the Pacers and the negatively impacted the Thunder as well too. But again, in a back to the wall situation, you don't know how you could handle this. It's been a while. Like Pacers fans, they were only in the finals at one time, and they were, or you know, as in the NBA anyways. And then even just them being in the conference finals and stuff year to year, it's not like they're super common there. It's a little teed up, chat. Shea, the technical free throw, cuts to 22. Is that the little possession right there you need, chat, where you get the free throw, you get a 2 on the other end, you cut it to 20, you get a 3 on the other end, you cut it to 19, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there we go. It starts to click into place. But, oh, chat, another timeout? Oh, what are we reviewing? They better not be reviewing that for a flagrant. Nick Richards pushing Tony, what's this guy's name, chat? Hardenstein, Ayo? Who was that? But, I mean, as one of their bigger free agent signings as well, too. I mean, I feel like he's been pretty decent for him, so Ayo, to say the least, chat. Ayo. But, yeah, wait, what were we saying before that, chat? What were we saying before that with the blowouts and stuff? Whoa, Ayo, pause. I forget. Wait, did we run the sim properly as well too? The stats for our game on here. Game 7 where the Thunder win. It does go to 7. 106-100. Shea with 34. Durant with 33. Westbrook 22 and 6 turnovers. Oh, ChatGPT. That's not fair to Westbrook. Chet again 14 and 10. Reusing storylines, chat. I think was it a 14 and 10 in game 1 as well too. Oh, a 12 and 10 in game 1. So close. So consistent with his 10 reboundings. James Harden definitely modeling his performance after 2012 chop. 16 points, 3 for 9. Good job by ChatGPT for setting him back in whoa, yo, chat, but you know, back in that Thunder history for him as well too. Westbrook 32, 11 and 7. I love where it's like, here's the game where Westbrook has a million turnovers, and then here's the game where Westbrook has a triple double. Just Westbrook stereotype shit. Ayo. But SGA 22, Jalen Williams 21. Clutch steal in game 6. Thunder win by 5. Harden 13 and 4. Chet 11 and 11. Highlight J-Dub's mid-range jumper. Ice it in the final minute. I mean, James Harden and Chet on the same team would be kind of fun, Chet. I feel like that's something that could happen. It just could happen. He could be back in OKC. Who knows, you know, what they end up wanting to do with the overall roster. But that could be That could be a good one, Chad. Hey, yo, especially if he wants to play with James Harden as well. Unless you think that that's going to potentially slow him down. But I don't know if that's necessarily the approach you want to take as a place anyways. So, yeah, and then there's game 7 as well. So Shea would be 28, 8, and 4.5 rebounds a game in this 7-game, little 7-game short story kind of situation. So Nembhard, chat, at the line, couple of free throws, keeps it a 21-point game. Halliburton on the free throw line with a smile. I mean, John Halliburton might have already left at this point, chat. 22-point game, 23-point game, 4 minutes left in the third. I mean, John Halliburton knows that any NBA team could storm back, but you think he's watched enough basketball to feel like he can get a good feeling is crazy, but whether he can be not a decent judge of whether or not the other team could have actually make the comeback in the game. I think he's able to make the call. And there's Nembhard that time. That defense on Shea is tough. Shea just elevates over, gets the jumper to go. Definitely something that, obviously, even when Nembhard was guarding it, it's like, okay, Shea probably still getting to his spot, still getting his looks. Nembhard just kind of messing with his mental right now in some sort of familiarity sort of ordeal as well too. And there's Nembhard for 3. Uh-oh, chat. Uh-oh. The spacing continues, the movement, it just seems like a lot of guys wide open on the shots tonight as well too. I mean, that would have to go with the Thunder's defense. There they're playing fast in transition. Nembhard, Halliburton, the little 2-man game. You've got Toppin, you've got Nesmith, and what is that? Tony Bradley over there in the corner, chat? Hey, yo. What's Tony Bradley doing in the corner? Tony Bradley's going to pump fake, take a guy off the dribble from the corner? I don't know if that's going to happen. But the 3-man game with the guards and with Nesmith involved as well, too, is fun. And again, with McConnell's great game tonight as well. Do you want McConnell on the ball, Shea and Nembhard off the ball, then setting up offense for both of those guys, chat? Just put both of those guys in with Siakam and Toppin, and there you go, call it a day. You lose, I mean, I guess, you still put Nesmith in as well, too, at that point, but that makes it perfect for what they're going for. So a little Case and Wallace versus TJ McConnell jump ball. Hey, yo, out of bounds, chat. Do we re-jump? Just re-jump. It's more fun that way. I think, was it Nembhard the one that tried to get or was it Shea as well, too? They got the foul or the bucket off of the tip. Hey, yo, whoa. Off of the jump ball scenario where this wasn't even like a pickup game again. It was, just real NBA jump ball. Was it even the tip back or was it the jump ball itself when the guy got it and was able to direct it into the basket? But it was an impressive play regardless. And there's that little midi for McConnell not getting to go this time. I guess they are up by 20. It's like, wait a second. They're winning this game. It's a crazy score. They're dominant. Give them their credit. McConnell slows it up, chat. Nembhard drives the foul. Oh, I thought he was going to get the and one there. He was pacing to make that layup. The balance was there. It was all there. So 2 shots to get him to 80. 80 by the third quarter against the Thunder defense. Yeah, chat, you're going to get 20, 25 plus in each quarter against the Thunder defense. 25 plus, honestly, 100 points, yes. Yes, chat. You will take it. I don't know what that equals out to in the points per 100 possessions, but it would have to be it's not even their best, I guess, scoring performance of the day, or of the series. But it would definitely help them tonight, that consistency, obviously, throughout the game. So right now, Indiana minus 16 and a half. We can get OKC. Call your accountants. You can get OKC at 130 to 1 right now, chat. 13 to 1. What are the odds? I can't read. You can get OKC at 13 to 1 right now to win this game. The money line is crazy. OKC, make no mistake, cover up the score. They are down 23 points with 15 minutes left in the game. But does that sound wild, chat? Down 23-15. I guess they do need to win to cover. It's -1. Oh, -110 for +17.5. Oh, hop on that right now, chat. Even money, -17.5. Lock it in. Lock it in. They're gonna win. Pacers are gonna win this game by 15 points, 14 points. The Thunder will close this in the fourth quarter a little bit. But I mean, you see Chet on the closeout right there. I mean, that feels like the first closeout we've seen from the Thunder in, a day and a half. Ayo, Chet, where's the defense been today? So I don't know. You get a little energy here to end the game, and maybe they at least get that 17.5 close back a little bit, but win the game, chat, cover their own. I don't know if that's gonna exactly be on the table at this point, but for our live bettors looking to capitalize on the in-game scenarios, chat, we're dropping gems. We're dropping jewels. Keep up with the live bets. Oh, Siakam, not able to get the midi to go. So you could see a Pacers stagnant offense here. You could see the Thunder with the defensive pressure increase and the shot making continue to stay strong. That they start to work this one back. Oh, Toppin going for a massive dunk, chat, on the baseline cut. Would have been another highlight play. Oh, Shea getting ready to check in, chat. I didn't realize they weren't even playing with aura at this point, chat. Hey, yo, this lineup doesn't even have aura with it. Oh, Wiggins, chat. I mean, the fact that was, wasn't even paying attention to that was Wiggins. The fact that was Wiggins, he should have slammed that home, buddy. Toppin, what are we doing? Aren't you Obi Toppin? Isn't dunking your thing? Is Obi Toppin moving into the next phase of his career a bit? Because would young Obi Toppin have dunked it on Aaron Wiggins right there? Hey, yo, chat. 12 points, 3 from 8 from the field. Here, let's double check his numbers from the finals. I imagine he's pushing double digits for this series, chat. He's got to be one of the biggest winners of the series. A little, we had the Nuggets series pulled back up there previously. I can't believe we haven't made the Aaron Gordon comparison yet. I feel like as I'm saying it, other people have had to make that because it feels almost perfect again. Just saying that out loud. I mean, the dunker spot is a perfect style. The players that they were, sort of the college legacies, I guess different college legacies with Toppin being the 4-year guy, but the higher draft picks and then the dunk contest legacy, the athleticism legacies of their careers, and then getting to a place where they play with a great playmaker, and then the turnaround for the actual game parts of their careers as well too. Like, there is some fun parallels. There is some fun parallels there between the two guys. So for the playoffs this year, 9.3 points a game for the playoffs, and another 3. A little 9-0 run, chat. Siakam, 84-57. So wait, could we have gotten Pacers by 30? We should have gone the other way with the live bets, chat. Oh, that's where they got us. We're gonna lose our hypothetical live betting money. It's really, really unfortunate. Dort, oh, he's gonna take that right over Toppin. Whoa, there we go, chat. Get that 17.5. It's still within reach. But for this series specifically, he is points per game. 11 points per game. His most successful playoff series, chat. Obi Toppin's most successful playoff series. We go back to that list here real quick. There was a 12-pointer in there as well, too, but it's not going to count like the NBA Finals, chat. He gets a boost, of course, for performing well in the NBA Finals playoff series. Where'd they go? Where'd they go, chat? 24 seconds left in the third. OKC down 27. They swing it to Wiggins. Wiggins no good on the 3. Cut it to 24 going into the fourth. You start going, uh-oh, chat. Do you? I don't know. But, yeah, 12.3 per game. Milwaukee last year, first round, they win in 6, 12 a game. 49% from the field. 28% from the 3, though. So 9 for 28 from 3. Oh, chat. Whoa! Nembhard bats the pass over to Nembhard. Or Nembhard bats the pass over himself. Bats the pass over to Ben Shepherd, who hits the buzzer beater 3. It's a 30-point game at the end of the third. Chat, what would have been the odds on Indiana by 30 for this one? Holy cow. Should we have run, do we run some chat GPT simulations? Hey, yo, chat. Indiana is up, should we say, okay, the Pacers are leading in the finals Game 6 over the... Is it going to get a live score update? Is crazy from ChatGPT, but we'll see. We'll put its capabilities to the test. The Pacers are leading the finals in Game 6 over the Thunder by 30 points as the third quarter ends. What were the odds of this outcome? Okay, chat. Is this how the FanDuel sets the odds right here? They just go, what should the line be for this game? And then ChatGPT just recommends it. But I don't even know if this is a realistic question to ask it here. But the odds of this specific in-game scenario would have been extremely low for several reasons, chat. Okay, yeah. Pacers lead by 30. Probably 1 in 500 games. So the Pacers leading it all after 3 quarters, about 40%. The Pacers winning Game 5, about 45%. I think that is actually kind of close to what it said beforehand here, chat. Let me go back and pull this up here. Pre-game. Is it going to give us the pre-game chart? We may have to wait before the game, or if we can find it here at the beginning of the first quarter. So 9 minutes. I guess the score had just started to impact it as well, too. Indiana, I was going to say they're at 99%. Yeah, they're up 30 right now. But, okay, so, yeah, I mean, right there to start the game, Oklahoma City's at 56.6%. So pretty close to what the old ChatGPT is saying right here, locked in, chat. You'd love to see it, a little cross-reference. But so Pacers leading by 30 points after 3 quarters. The point, 1 in 500, so we're not quite in an endgame scenario, chat. What were the endgame odds? Do we have to look that back up? Because that was 1 in 14,000, if I'm not mistaken. Endgame odds, chat. Hey, yo. Do we look up like some old... Imagine Polymarket for when the Marvel universe was in existence, chat. Hey, yo. I feel like we just missed that. Obviously, yeah, hey, yo, chat. Obviously, other odds are on Polymarket as of right now. But endgame... Wait, let's go endgame odds, Doctor Strange. What were the theories that he said? He played a crucial role. 14 million? That's what... Whoa, hey, yo, chat. 14,000. Way off. The FanDuel betting odds on that would have been crazy. But it's like, okay, the sports book. That's really what it was, chat. Doctor Strange looked in time and he saw I can get 1 in 14 million on this scenario. And he's like, okay, do we need a chat GPT? We rewrite Endgame to where Doctor Strange just manufactured this whole thing for betting odds. And it's just all a ruse for him to hit his parlay. But Pacers are at least somewhat close in this 3-quarter situation. So Pacers, blowing out the Thunder in a close game, 1 to 3% range, chat. 1 to 3%. Why is it so unlikely? Because the Thunder are good. And so are the Pacers. But still, at the end of ESPN win probability or second spectrum gives the Pacers a 99% chance to win. Even a greater than 99% chance to win. Some might even say 101% chance to win against the Thunder right now, potentially. Teams, okay, chat, a little live. So we've got, the Rem and Sam, we're giving you live graphics research here. I don't know if we even had to do research for this stat, but we could have just guessed this one. Teams down 30 after 3 quarters have never won a game in the finals, it turns out. They're 0-1. So, also, turns out teams never go down 30 through 3 quarters in the finals. I mean, make no mistake, chat, that is quite a bit. But the idea, I guess, of a team having a dominant performance against another team, obviously, in the 5-1 game is not crazy. So, I guess, has there been 30-point leads specifically at various points in the finals before? But just at that specific point, at the end of 3 quarters, again, it's a little specific. But still, very rare, shows you, obviously, the level of play as well, too, and competitiveness that you typically get. After we were calling this the classic great series, we just get a stinker game, chat. Pacers win by 30. It is what it is, but do we need to look up that other game here really quick? So, analogy, this would be like a number 6 seed blowing out the number 1 seed in the NCAA Elite 8 tournament, or an NFL wildcard team leading Pat Mahomes by 35 in the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead at 3 quarters. So, a 30-point lead in the NBA is equal to a 35-point lead in the AFC Championship game against... I gotta say, chat, Mahomes, I guess Mahomes kind of has been close to being down by 35 in a couple of these Super Bowls, but Mahomes being down by 35 still would feel like a little bit more crazy. I mean, again, we're looking at Mahomes now. Mahomes is a little bit more established than the Thunder are at this point, chat. Mahomes is still he's still entering his prime years here. Like, he's not necessarily at the end of his run, hopefully, but he also is, of course, 3 to 4. What's he got? 4 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls, 4 appearances, 5 appearances at this point. So I mean, you can't even keep them all straight, chat. It is what it is. But he's got the 3 wins. So wait, let's go and look at those playoff ones. Again, the score is the Super Bowl. Because were those, I don't think they actually lost. Was the Tampa a 30-point loss? Yeah, it wasn't quite 30. It was close. 29 to 31. And then Philly was 22 to 40. 35 in football just feels a little bit, and I guess we're adjusting as well too in the modern NBA. Like, if a team can, the greater deficit, like the margins, it feels like a team can make that up with 20-25 now is more reasonable. So is like a 30-point lead the new 20-point? I don't know how the maths in new NBA history, but it would feel like a little bit more impressive for a team. I guess, shout out to the old Texans game, chat, where they were up like 28 to whatever on the Chiefs. So 24 to nothing. Oh, chat, it was 35 to nothing there for a second, just about. And I mean, that does show you how dominant, but it feels different because, again, Philly, I guess in this comparison, is not a 6-seed wildcard team. Philly was the team we looked at the other way and went, oh, this is actually the best team in the league, and it made sense. It was sort of like if the Thunder, Philly was like if the Thunder had struggled a little bit to start the season. What was Philly's overall record? It did end up being pretty good, I think, obviously. But, 18-3 on the year. But those 3 losses, if we remember correctly, were kind of closely together. Oh, 2-2 to start. We tend to overreact, obviously, in month 1. So it's like, are they falling apart? And then 20-16 versus Cleveland. They go 3-2 there. It's not like a crazy impressive win. So, out of the bye, you got 6 weeks in. You're going, the Eagles a little iffy. And in the moment as well, too, watching the offense is not like it was a clean game. It's not like they were playing a ton of clean games. Hurts definitely was playing better at the end of the year than he was at the beginning of the year. But still, impressive regular season record, 14-3 is, definitely up there, with the expanded season as well too. But again, not the same level of team. So the Pacers, again, are they a better team than we're giving them credit for from the regular season standpoint? Yes, but still, you have to make a comparison in some way. So wait, what happened? Box score, halftime run stats for Game 6 scenarios. Wait, do we have to go? What is this scenario? And I guess, wait, how much time is left, chat? So we are in the 4th quarter now. Down 30. Run. What's the scenario? What's the scenario, chat? Run a scenario where the Thunder make a comeback, chat. Ayo. They don't have to. Well, I guess we don't have to type it all that, but we'll just say they don't have to win, but where they at least close the gap. So it's 3rd quarter score. Pacers up 30, entering the 4th. 91-61. Are we actually current? I guess we probably were there, chat. Ayo, shout out ChatGPT. But 4th quarter. So Thunder's, it's going to rely on Case and Wallace. Ayo, chat. Opens the 3rd quarter with 3 straight steals and 3 straight threes plus a steal. Thunder cut it to 21 in 90 seconds. Pacers collapse begins. Halliburton cramps, chat. Oh, no. Hopefully ChatGPT doesn't know the script. Chat, Halliburton's going to start cramping that calf strain that we've forgotten about at this point because the Thunder up there. Is Halliburton back in the game? What's Halliburton doing in the game, chat? Hey, yo, Mathurin fouls out with 12:19 left. So there's like a minute left for that. How many fouls is, I guess, in, Case and Wallace, unfortunately, has already missed his opportunity to hit 3 threes. He's 0 for 1 at this point. But could Mathurin still foul out? At least in terms of swing this. They have closed the gap now to 28. So Mathurin's at 0 fouls currently, 5 minutes played, 0 for 2 from the field. So they sub Mathurin back in. Mathurin has to pick up 6 fouls in the next minute. Not even, chat, because, we're going in real time, not on the ESPN yet. But Thunder switched to a trapping zone defense, forcing 4 turnovers in 2 minutes. So another 4 turnovers after they hit 3 steals. A 25-2 run in 5 minutes. Pacers lead down to 6 with 5:11. So that would do it, chat. If you want to make up a 30-point lead, just go ahead and go on a 25-2 run. I mean, it's obviously, you have to go on that type of run. But Case and Wallace being the spark plug, and then Halliburton, a little LeBron game 1, Spurs versus Heat. With the, I guess the Pacers aren't going to cut the AC on their own guy, but if they're playing in OKC, maybe that's the move next game, chat. Game 7, cut the AC. It worked for the Spurs before. There's precedent for it in NBA history. So, clutch moments. Jalen Williams hits a 3 with 4:22. Chet hits a 3 with 3:01. Halliburton returns, but throws an errant lob. Thunder fast break dunk. SGA 2:14 left. Neesmith, oh, Chad, he's been a clutch performer all playoffs, but misses a corner 3 with a minute 28. Shea hits a dagger mid-range over Caruso. Thunder lead 112-108. So the Pacers still have 15 points to score here. Oh, Jesus, Chad, the Thunder are going to score 50 points in the next 10 minutes. I mean, I'm ready to lock in and watch it. They don't have their starters in. It would be, again, I guess Case and Wallace, speaking of, is not even in the game. So ChatGPT, as smart as it may be, chat, this simulation is apparently not. Do we have to, okay, rerun a new simulation with this lineup and see what happens. I don't know. We're just going to turn into NBA hackers here and just see if we can guess the storyline. But Halliburton step back 3. Oh, chat, it spins out. 11 seconds left. Final score. Pacers 116. Yeah, chat, they have 66 points right now. The largest fourth quarter comeback in finals history. Yeah, chat, I think it would be the most. Thunder going a 55-19 run to end the game. It would be, I think, probably the most impressive 10-minute stretch of basketball any team's ever played ever. Maybe the most. I mean, this would definitely, they pulled the start. It's a different thing if it happens at this point. But this would be different than even like the Brady 28-3 versus the Falcons. I think that's still probably, but we start talking single game versus series as well too. Like that's probably the greatest single game comeback in sports history. Obviously, I think between football and basketball, I don't know, you throw baseball in there and then you go baseball series history. I think the Red Sox had a 3-0 deficit that they overcame from the Yankees, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I think that, this is where my lack of baseball knowledge comes in, because that's like a quote-unquote conference, that's like a pennant league game, right? That's not the World Series if the Yankees play the Red Sox. Let's go back here and check. I believe that was the 04 season. And again, that probably should be just like basic sports knowledge. That, it's like just historic trivia, team accomplishment stuff. But still, just a fact check. Because either way, it was a 3-0 or it was a 3-1, if anything. Maybe they had a 3-1 deficit in there as well too, or another one in history. But let's see, 2004 won the World Series. Yeah, won the World Series 4-0. Hey, yo, Chad. So, yeah, over the Cardinals. Whoa. So that matchup itself was dominant. And I don't know, storylines going in. That, I guess, game 1 was close. 11-9, Chad. Do we need to go back and rewatch game 1 of the World Series 11-9? That's what baseball's missing. They want to keep it traditional, like how do we make a 3-0 game entertaining? Well, you know what, chat? You won't. You know what's not entertaining? A game that's 3-0. Soccer fans are going to get mad now. But you know what would be more fun? A baseball game that's 9. Get it into the double digits. If baseball scores, started being in the 7 to 12 point range every game, that could be more fun. A score an inning. I think a score an inning is a good pace. Baseball fans are just like, oh my goodness, what is happening right now? Like you can't score more than 5 points in a baseball game. That's not right. But you know what always gets the attention of a non-baseball fan? When it's like, wait a second, that team scored 18 runs tonight? Holy cow, that's always the only games a non-baseball fan goes, man, I wish I was watching that game, was a game in which a team just scored a ton of runs and had offense. Matherin with the dunk chat. So ChatGPT scenario is not playing out at all. Is AJ Mitchell in the game? I was going to say, who is that? But AJ Mitchell, shout out. I don't even remember where he went to college, chat. I just remember kind of liking him in the draft. Be like, oh yeah, the Thunder, that's another solid wing sort of do-it-all player that they could just use right away. That they could have in the lineup and be an impactful guy. Matherin for 3. So he's not fouling, chat. He's already, I guess, he's 2 minutes past his deadline, but could he foul out still in the game? Oh, Ben Shepherd, the reckless block attempt by Isaiah Joe. I don't think you need to jump that high when Isaiah Joe's trying to attack the basket. But wait, we haven't even fact checked this Red Sox thing as well too. Oh wait, we don't want the previous season. We want the previous series from the World Series. So yeah, that Yankee series did go 7 games, chat. I feel like we're probably thinking the right way here. Probably thinking right. Yeah, so Boston won game 4, 6-4, 5-4. Oh, now we've made Hornets fans, Kings fans, and Yankees fans. This is actually these are the fans, Shay. Whoa. Yankees fans. See, the problem is there's about as many Yankees fans probably as there is Hornets and Kings fans. There's probably more Yankees fans than there are Hornets and Kings fans. So, it's like we just doubled it there. But Red Sox and Yankees, and then or Red Sox 4, Yankees 2, and then Red Sox 10, Yankees 3 in Game 7. Whoa, chat. A dominant performance. But that would be, I think, amongst the most impressive, of course, series. That's like that. I would say the Patriots would be the most. The two just I would immediately think of for impressive comebacks. Again, you got a game in a series situation there as well too, and the 2016 3-1 Cleveland over the Warriors. One, because obviously it's historic for an NBA team to have accomplished that, but two, also they accomplished it over an historic NBA team like the Warriors, who had broken the regular season record that year, and Curry had his historic regular season. So it was obviously super impressive just in the grand scheme of sports as well. Shea in this game, chat, a hypothetical game with a 38-27 or with a 38-9-3. Jalen Williams with 27. Hey, yo. Jalen Williams, would he need 27 assists at this point to get him back in the game? He might. 99-73. So this has now, of course, officially entered, well, not even now, but even before, officially entered that where that Game 4 territory was in against Minnesota. Like I was saying, not just that bad performance, but that bad performance that, you don't want to say doesn't count for the greater part of the series, but it's just like, okay, this is, again, OKC having that stinker game. It is what it is. Are they going to have this performance in Game 7? No. But does this, of course, question the overall, is it just us, we say the media, but also the fans, just a greater conversation. Is it the questions of their overallness, in the Game 7 about them closing out the game? Like, yeah, there is going to be still, I guess, more doubt that creeps in now because they didn't close this one out. But still, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm overall changed and totally convinced against picking, OKC to win a Game 7 situation. Again, the home court thing is definitely a big factor for a team that really gets a lot out of its role guys in OKC, and has a good bench like that. But again, Indiana proving themselves as a champion, and OKC still proving there is those steps that you need to take to become an NBA champion, and those steps that you just learn along the way. Like, every team goes through them, chat, and you can't necessarily skip them. There's always going to be a moment where you have to dethrone the previous guy. You pass of the torch, quote unquote. You have to go, okay, we get the series in the balance and we close out the series. And yeah, maybe you get more, like the Celtics, obviously, again, they win the series in 5 last year. The finals itself, that playoff run, definitely on the easier side of it. Well, you don't want to say easier, but the matchup stuff definitely worked out more favorably for them than it had in years past. But they also had earned their title status just by the runs that they have had in the previous years and the battles and getting to the conference championship and getting to the finals previously. So OKC is a little bit more fast-tracked, obviously, with that timeline. But again, they're still fighting the same battles that Boston had to win. And is that the dynasty factor of it? Is that the, how many rings can a guy win? It's like, okay, well, OKC is already solving that stuff. Like, yeah, that definitely could get into the greater conversation of it. But again, you got a situation, and Stephen A was saying at halftime, where you got OKC playing like they know there's a Game 7, and that's absolutely probably that's just you don't want to say, oh, yeah, there you go, Stephen A called it, but it's impossible to look at the effort that OKC gave tonight and went, there is not that extra life hanging around in the back of their mind that they're thinking about when they're playing this game, and knowing they're playing this game obviously knowing it's okay to lose the game. And you think OKC in 2 years, if they're back in this situation, even if they're not, it's not a younger team, even if they're playing not themselves, even if their opponent is, let's say they're rematched against the Pacers themselves, and this is the new Cavs Warriors, and both these teams are the most season playoff teams we have in 3 years from now, over the next 3 years. But in a couple years, you would assume that OKC is going to be more locked in this type of game, and more like, yeah, and maybe also feeling whatever the ramifications of letting Indiana back into this series would be in Game 7. Like, whatever dealing with those would be with, could prompt the growth as a team as well, too. But just the fact that they've already pushed it to a Game 7 and know that they had a chance to close out the team and didn't is going to be a learning experience. And, again, something that you would assume as a more veteran team that knows the stakes of the individual games and has felt the pacing of the playoff series, that they'd be like, no, any chance we get to close out a team, you have to take it, and you have to go out there and you have to, cut the head off the giant, quote unquote, as any opportunity you get. Like, LeBron and Jordan and Steph and all of these guys are going to close out these teams, and Giannis, Jokic are going to close out these teams in the moments that you have a chance to close out these teams. So again, like, OKC can be the start of a great team. Obviously, you can still win this series, but it's just the last couple of steps of them being that great team. And maybe that is a couple of things where I guess the problem would be, what is the experienced team that they would play next year? I guess it would be Giannis, right, chat? It would be a rematch of the NBA in-season tournament from this year, where Giannis just overwhelmed the Thunder, and it's like, I guess, that type of player is too much. But it, again, is also not just his capabilities as a player, obviously, but his capabilities as a star on that level, and proving that he has been clutch in the playoffs, and his ability to, step up, chat, ayo. His ability to rise to the occasion in the moments. And, even in-season tournament, it's like, okay, is there a game, you take in-season tournament out of it, a game against the Thunder where I need to just be awesome tonight and carry the team to win, and I know how to, I've been through the battles, I know how to actually go to that last level and take a team over the top. Like, he's at the point where he knows carrying a team like that, he can do it in his sleep, chat. Hey, Jokic has just been carrying teams for his whole career. So, and, Shea obviously doesn't even have to carry the team in the same way. But it is just that last sort of step of, again, not even being, I guess, we're not even saying being a championship winning team, because they can still win the championship with a performance like this. But to be that dynasty level team, and I guess maybe you can be this good in just 7 games, have a game where you just absolutely drop the game as well, too. Because, like the Warriors would have a game in this series where, even in 2017 with Durant and stuff, like, obviously that version of the team, like, just cruise through the playoffs. But the next couple of years, be like, oh, yeah, there's a game or two where they're going to drop a playoff game, and there's going to be a poor 3-point shooting game. The other team's going to win game 3. There's going to be a 5-game series in there somewhere. But, again, it would be 5. It would be 6. It would be almost the shortest version of the series possible. Not, 6, but, we could have got it in 6, and we went 7. So, it might work out that they get the game in the home fans, like we were saying earlier. But still, any chance you take to win the finals, you got to take it, Chad. Hey, speaking as a Spurs fan, fortunately we were able to get redemption for some of our finals mistakes, but not every team gets that chance, and those finals mistakes obviously still painful. But Johnny Furphy, chat, we get a Johnny Furphy appearance tonight in the fourth quarter, again in a dominant situation. But who would have thought maybe he would have been a guy that Carlisle felt like he had to try to, last second mix into the rotation here, but no, he doesn't do that. Topping the spinning 3, chat. Ayo. Foot on the line. Spinning 2, long 2. 20 points for our guy Toppin, so continues to probably now, raises that scoring level over that previous series against Milwaukee. There's Isaiah Joe with the steal. So 82 points is up there with the Thunder's just in general lowest playoff game, chat. I think they had actually 83 against the Timberwolves in that one game, but 3 minutes left is definitely, they're definitely not going to put up a ton more points here. and 90, 85 is still generally the range. So, chat, we get a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. We get a Game 7, which I don't think we've had since Cavs Warriors. Speaking of 2016, I don't think we've had a Game 7 since then. I think that would be the last time that the NBA Finals has had those kind of stakes on the table. Let's go back. Wait, what am I looking for here, chat? Seasons, ayo. Let's go back to seasons. Let's actually, here, 3 minutes left. Game up by 20, chat. I think we could take a quick break and then be back to put a bow on this as we look through finals, because Game 7, ayo, chat. Something to look forward to. The NBA season continues, and we continue to look forward right after this. Testing 1, 2, 3. There we go, chat. We are cooking, and we got to give a shout out to James Johnson, who's finally made a finals appearance. I mean, I feel like there's been a couple opportunities to give James Johnson finals. Again, maybe even the Thunder. It's like, okay, the Thunder are winning this game dominantly. Let's get the. I mean, Carlisle pulled the starters like, way too early in the game a couple games ago, and it still couldn't get James Johnson in the game. So, I mean, we need to distract James Johnson from some of the MMA stuff right now, because I think he was saying that he could win a fight versus John Jones. So, actually maybe go the other way. James Johnson, keep talking, because we need to get John Jones out there in the ring eventually. But again, so at some point, did I say James Johnson in the ring? We got to get John Jones in the ring. Again, at some point, he just needs to fight because, I mean, at some point again, the time's gonna pass him by. It's like, well, he's gonna retire, because at this point, I mean, it's not gonna. The remembered thing's not gonna be, oh, remember John Jones, the guy that didn't want to fight Tom Aspinall. But it is a thing that's like, okay, it's clearly, and we get it. It's like, if LeBron retires next year, it's like, oh, LeBron, does he not want to win the finals at 41? It's like, okay, the man made it to 41. It's like, John Jones has made it. But, he's also still actively trying to prop himself up as a fighter. So, or, maybe he's even not trying to do that. He is, kind of being honest as well. He's like, I'm going to fight the big money fights and do all this stuff. So, again, at some point, it's just going to be like, okay, the fight's not going to happen because time is in effect here. But also, I think it would be a little something that people would remember as well, too, about the little end chapter there. But just it would be a weird end for a guy that, especially it seemed like we were going to get such a cinematic end as well too, and it had the opportunity with a couple of his last fights where, if he's not gonna, if it was never, and you don't want to just assume, because in the moment it's like, yeah, I may retire, but also I may want to fight this guy though, and there's also paychecks involved. I may want to take one last paycheck. The legacy of that stuff is always, probably a tempting thing as well too. Always just wanted to challenge himself as a competitor, but also, if you're not going to take the fight, just don't take. There's no disrespect in not taking the fight, because again, we understand the phase right here. Like, I'm done, and maybe again we just go straight to I'm not giving ourselves, we're gonna clown the man anyway. So it's like, if he just retires right after the fight, it's like, oh man, the man just retired and didn't want to fight Aspinall, but it's like, okay, we're there anyways. He's not gonna fight Aspinall, so. Maybe he will fight James Johnson. I don't know. What's more likely, chat? John Jones fights James Johnson or Tom Aspinall next? At this point, at least the value of the odds on James Johnson might not be too bad. And shout out to Rick Smits as well, too. It took till the last Pacers game of the season for them to go through all the other legends on the Pacers in attendance besides Reggie Miller. So you got Mark Jackson, again, Rick Smits, Meta World Peace. Ayo, chat, shout out. Oh, James Johnson. Did he get ejected? He got ejected, chat. 52 seconds left. Oh, it had to happen. James Johnson, he was in the finals game for a minute. Got himself thrown out. It's perfect. Has James Johnson ever even been in a finals game? Because he was on the Heat there for a second. He's been on, make no mistake. Man's been on some teams. So I feel like there was a chance for him to get to the finals. And James Johnson was a player back in the day. I feel like he's kind of, again, a little, how does a guy get remembered? Are we just remembering the current version of him? Like, he's been in this role a little bit as the veteran guy for a second now. And look how many teams he's been on, chat. Hey, yo. I was going to say some multiple different versions of the teams here, but no, mostly it's just different teams. And, bouncing back and forth to the Raptors as well, too. Bloodsport, chat? Hey, yo. James Bloodsport Johnson. Oh, chat. That might be the new best nickname, honestly. James Bloodsport Johnson is crazy. Do we have to ask ChatGPT that real quick? Is there a better nickname than James Bloodsport? Is there a better nickname in sports, chat? Hey, yo, Dr. Duncanstein? Is there a better or more fitting? I don't know what is there a better nickname, more terrifying in sports than James Bloodsport? Oh, yo, chat. Hey, yo, James Bloodsport Johnson is crazy. Let's see what we get here. What does ChatGPT think the best nicknames are? Is an elite nickname? Oh, it hits Menace, Mystique, Pop Culture. Eagle, Magic Johnson? Oh, chat, we're fools. We're fools. See, that's how good Magic Johnson's nickname is like, you would just be like, what's Magic Johnson's name? Oh, yeah, it's Magic Johnson. It's like, well, no, his name's not actually Magic Johnson, but it is his name, Chad. His name is Magic Johnson. Wait a second. Well, why is it mentioned Jean-Claude Van Damme here? What happened? He's a second-degree black belt champion. The same name. The name evokes. Oh yeah, Jean-Claude. Obviously, Chad. Bloodsport. But James Kobe Black Mamba is up there. So does James Johnson need to get on the Lakers? Refrigerator Perry. Fridge is a great nickname too, Chad. Shout out. Jack the Assassin Tatum. Oh, I was like, wait a second, Jason Tatum. No, Jack Tatum, the old defensive back for the Raiders, chat. That might be another one. Do we need to cast a movie real quick with Jack the Assassin Tatum, a buddy cop movie with Jack the Assassin Tatum and James Bloodsport Johnson? Hey, yo, chat. I feel like, do we save that for the next time, or is that just the perfect way to cap a 30-point night? A 30-point, well, I guess it turned into a 20-point game there. What did we get? 27? Shout out to the Thunder. So, shout out to the Pacers for pushing it back to 27 here. We'll give the Pacers their due respect and look up the best wins in finals history. And I guess now that I'm saying that, chat, best wins in finals history, again, with the way the Pacers kind of closed some of these games, I guess, 24 in game 2 obviously is pretty close. So here we'll look and see where it falls. as well too. Before our wait, we want player game finder. We always just end up going straight to the season finder. But if we were looking ahead to Game 7, chat, and just making the case for each team, you know, if we went through individual the individual games, I feel like, again, we would maybe find an evenness now, especially with this game, that could be found in the series. And I guess we'd have to go back and remember sort of the difference is it feels like obviously when the Thunder are winning those impressive games, there is a pressure that they are having. There's a pressure that they can apply to the Pacers, and I guess the Pacers in the first half definitely applied that pressure. The problem was, again, they were the second half, the Game 7. Both teams are already looking ahead to it at that point. It was such a dramatic margin that the second half just didn't feel the need to be as competitive, obviously, as the first half. But their intensity in that first half did match what the Thunder, to some, obviously to some degree, but it was really close to what the Thunder provided peak levels throughout this final series as well too. So there's some close, like, now best versions of basketball and the evenness in some of those games 3 and 4 that they were able to play. Tied for the fewest points allowed this season, Chad. Indiana Pacers. It said OKC at 91. I don't know if that was OKC holding them to the lowest. I guess it would be probably OKC because we've seen OKC hold other teams to 80 as well too. So the best defensive performance that we've seen a team have against OKC, I mean, again, it solidifies the two-wayness of Indiana as well too. Reggie Miller, chat, got to make sure to get on the court and show love to the players. Again, the final game of the season in Indiana, obviously Game 7, end of the season, is going to take place in Oklahoma City. So, unbelievable, chat. Unbelievable that this series continues at least to be the gift that gives on giving like this. But, okay, wait, how do we want to look this up? Is there like a margin of victory thing here? Box score plus minus game score? Wait, we're back on the player finder here. We want the team game finder, chat. I'm just rambling. I'm not even actually looking up the stats that we want. So we want a playoff finals game. This could just be a chat GPT, Google as well too. As much as we trust ChatGPT, I mean, it will definitely. The thing is, it'll definitely give us some of the the biggest finals games. Ayo, but team seed series best of ayo chat span of games. So we might actually be able to get this here. It'll give us some of them. I just don't know if it'll give us quite all of them. So we just want ayo. We're greedy little stat finders. Yo, chat. That's kind of wild, but it is what it is. We just want to make sure that we make sure we research with accuracy as well too. We uphold the journalistic integrity here on the REMINGTOM pod. So wait, did we make this a game in the finals? Yeah, playoff round in the finals. Game filter. Opponent success. Arena score. Margin by quarter, chat. Here we go. Margin over under. So we said 20. We'll go. Well, 24 was the margin for the Thunder. So we'll go 24. I mean, obviously we can filter out and look at the top end performances for finals. So score by quarter. We could also look earlier as well too and go, the lead they had, was that the biggest lead? Pause. That any team has ever had in a finals, or up there as well too, in the finals. But let's see here. If we're getting this right, 24 or more difference, points scored. So is this, is this a quarter? Did I just do it for a quarter? Did I do it for a full game? Let me see here, chat. Fourth quarter, points scored versus points allowed. 20 points. Oh, yeah, so I think I ended up doing it for a quarter here. Margin. In any quarter, first half, through any quarter, 20 points through any quarter. Wait, let's see if this is the right way to do it. Through the fourth quarter? I don't know, chat. We've never actually searched the margin of victory here, I guess, in a finals game on the stat head. So we'll live workshop this and see if this is the right way to get it. Difference 30, 42 through the fourth quarter. Hey, yo, chat. I guess this'll give us that lead that we were looking for anyways. The Bulls were up 42 over the Jazz in 98. Hey, yo, chat. I mean, obviously that series, 98, I'm guessing, well, was 98 last dance? 97, 98, and then 98, 99. Yeah, it was after Jordan there. But let me make sure I'm getting this all right on the timeline here. Let's actually open up this Bulls season real quick and see what we get. Yeah, 62-20. Maybe they did play the next season and win the title. No, 98-99. Yeah, they won 13-37. Drastic change. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo, lockout shortened as well, too. But, yeah, how come I can remember that year, chat? 99-98. So that's the Spurs year. Why? Well, just lock that in. Then 99-2000, the Lakers go to win. But it's like, the Spurs get a title in there. The Bulls get a bunch of titles in there. The Lakers start winning titles in there. So it's not like we're not giving them one. It's just sometimes remembering all the years, obviously. Putting the pieces together in history is something that we don't always do. But, yeah. Again, you get like the drama in the end there. That series was 6 games. Jordan has a dramatic... And I guess that game was close because that was like a near game-winning shot where the quote-unquote push-off shot. But there's like a drama that's sort of built in with that shot to the series where you don't necessarily hear about the fact that they were up by 42 in the fourth quarter in that game, in that series at one point as well, too. Boston up 39 over the Lakers. So here, let's check earlier what the largest lead was in the game for the Pacers because they were at least 30. So they may have been 30 or more. I don't know if it would have matched their straight win probability as well, too. I think NBA.com might have a largest lead on there. Is that like in the app, chat? Wait a second. I have to pull the play-by-play back up and do a math. Do we ask? Can ChatGPT tell us what the largest lead tonight in tonight's game was, maybe? And we can see here what we got. At least I thought it used to back in the day. Maybe it used to be better with the stats. Oh, here we go. Team comparisons, series, game info, points off turnovers. No, chat. Largest lead. I know that used to be in the box score somewhere. Make no mistake, chat. We have been taking a peek at the box scores for a couple years now, but apparently I'm not remembering correctly. So let's see what we got here. If we can at least get a guesstimate anyways. Oh, well, chat. Oh, it is what it is. We can at least get the 30-pointers here. 23 teams with a 30-point or more lead. It's great. Cleveland over Golden State up by 30 at one point in that game. Boston in 64. Boston in 85. Detroit in 05 over San Antonio, chat. Whoa, 31. I mean, San Antonio, we win that series in 7, but Detroit. So is that a correlation where obviously Detroit can have a better individual performance in a game, but the Spurs can, of course, through the talent of the team, the individual shot making and defense and the way they buckle down, like, can they overcome in 7 games? Definitely. But Philly over the Warriors, chat. Portland over Philly. Dallas over Boston. And 24. Dallas up 32 over Boston. Ayo, chat is up there in the lead as well, too. So, I mean, they were, of course, not even going to win that series and still had a better, I guess, performance than... Oh, wait a second. We have a Boston in 24 in here as well. We have Boston in 08 up 39 over the Lakers as the number 2. So, Dallas up over Boston 38. That might have been in the same game, chat. So that's the 3rd biggest lead in finals history. And again, that was a 5-game series. So Boston was so checked out in that game that it didn't even matter. Hey, yo, chat. That's how crazy it got. Chicago in 96 up 36 over Portland. And then 2013, of course, San Antonio just dominant over Miami up 36. Washington up 35 over Seattle. Boston in 85 up 34 over LA. Boston up 34 over St. Louis in 61. LA up 33 over Boston in 84. Chat, they called this an historic series, but Boston and LA are just winning by 30 points every time. It's not that competitive. Philly over LA by 33. Boston over and 65, but still by 33. Chicago over Portland by 33. So shout out to Clyde, chat, but unfortunately, MJ, it is what it is. Indiana up over LA once again. So, there's precedent as well, too, for the Pacers having this kind of performance. This might not even be the largest lead by the Pacers in a finals game as well. I guess that's maybe why they didn't even show stats like that. Pacers were up by 33 over the Lakers at one point in that series, too. So, still got to catch up to Reggie Miller in some of the stats as well. But Cleveland up 30 up 33 over, or sorry, Golden State up 33 over Cleveland in 2016. So both of those teams switched off some pretty dominant performances there. Or I guess, yeah, Cleveland over Golden State, and then Golden State over Cleveland, Indiana over LA, and then, yeah, all the Boston stuff as well. A bunch of different Boston ones in here. San Antonio in 07 over Cleveland by 27 points. San Antonio over 25 by Cleveland. Same game, yeah. So they pushed that lead to 27, I guess. And then up by 24 in 2014 as well, too. Wait, 6-12 was that the same game as the 39-point game? Probably. Oh, no, a different game, chat. Yeah, just a dominant game. A dominant series for San Antonio, of course, throughout. But that would have been probably the other last series that unfortunately went to 7 games. Unfortunately went to 7 games because, again, you know, of what happened in previous games. But still, you know, also there was a Game 7 that got played that series. Still at least a little chance of redemption within that year itself. And, you know, ultimately redemption to wait for the next year. But, yeah, 2012-13 went 7 games. 2015-16 went 7 games. And then it's been a decade, chat, since we've gotten a 7-game series in the playoffs. That seems crazy. But, yeah, I mean, Golden State went to 1. The Raptors won in 6, right? They didn't win in 7. They won in 6. Yeah, over Golden State. So, not 7 there. And then, like we were saying, Milwaukee won over Phoenix in 6 as well, too. So this has to be the longest stretch of the non-repeat champions, but that is also, you know, all of this goes into what has been ultimately the face of the league conversation. And the face of the league conversation is, of course, just that, a face of the league conversation, but it is also a conversation, you know, a sort of secondary split conversation of driving league popularity. And historically, yes, and throughout all of sports and just what sports are. You know, again, they're driven through the athletes, the players, the individuals, but also, you know, those individuals create teams as well, too, and the team success matters into the story of the individual and connecting the individual, you know, to something that actually the story, and now it's bigger than themselves, and now they're a part of, you know, all that stuff does matter, chat. But the idea that a team hasn't been established that way, the idea that, you know, again, the competitiveness, even the league is about story for the success and the ultimate achievements, but it's also about story and the fact that it's just generally the league is entertainment. And the league, you know, this is Game 7 of the finals is peak entertainment for the league, and we've been missing out on, you know, the quote-unquote peak entertainment of a dominant team, a dominant player, and to be honest, again, completely dominant competitive final series like this. Like a great final series, great performances that you wouldn't trade for any. Like, I'm not going to go back and redo, you know, again, we want Giannis to win the title. Redoing an outcome of the Bucks Suns finals where Devin Booker gets the title is not bad either. But we would only redo that to give Giannis maybe 2 rings. Again, we'd start taking rings away from other people, but sorry, Celtics. Hey, yo. Not winning that ring in 2023. But, you know, we want Giannis to get that ring as well, too. So we're not mad about that. I'm not going to go back and redo it. But, again, just you need these in there every now. You need a Game 7 every now and then, Chad. Hey, yo. It is what it's good for the health of the league, a Game 7. You know what else is good for the good star player every now and then as well, too. And this is just all part of the formula. Again, you know, you got a 4-year stretch, 2 years. You got Game 7s in there. Lakers, I think this second finals went to Game 7 against Boston, 9-10. Yeah, Chad, that went to Game. I don't know if I don't think the one against the Magic was that 5. Chad, Dwight Howard. Hey, he got to the finals though, pretty impressive. And the Mavericks as well too. You know, impressive that they won in 6. You know, as the underdog team, that kind of needs to happen. You know, do you go win a Game 7? I guess underdog team. Did they have the better regular season record that year? 57. Well, 58. It was close, but underdog team in terms of storyline and the star player potential there. But the Lakers in 9-10, the Heat in 5-6. I think this also went 6 games as well too. I guess here actually we could just go to the stat head. Single games. Can we get a reset? Where's the reset button at, chat? Oh, I think it's down on the bottom. Pause. Clear all. Here we go. If we just look up game sevens in finals history, then we can at least, we'll see the date spacing between them all here and get a glimpse. Because, again, it would be interesting to see what the biggest gap is between game 7 runs in finals history. And I think the finals itself has pretty much always been 7. I think we go way back. We start going 5 games with it. But for a large majority, it's been 7 games. So wait, best of 7 for finals. But we want game filter, game result, game location, team filter, team stat filter. Wait, can we get this just being a... Oh, any series game. Here we go, chat. Game 7. So just a finals game 7 in general in NBA history. Nothing more crazy than that. Yeah, so 2016... Oh, okay, we're going to get 2 results for each, but that's okay. 2016 to 2013 to 2010 to 05, so, 5-year gap from the Spurs to the Lakers. And then 94 to 2005, chat. And that is an interesting run as well, too. And then 88 to 94. Whoa, chat. Hey, yo. 88 to 94. The Jordan years, basically, is kind of funny. It's funny that, again, that would almost kind of, I don't know if that would help or how that influences the point, because, again, it influences the point of the league needing a star, because Jordan wouldn't even let a finals go to 7 game, but it didn't matter. The league was never as popular. Michael Jordan's the apex mountain for the NBA in a way, but you could argue. But again, outside, so it is the balance. Do you do you have the star, or do you have the entertainment value? Do you have both potentially in the mix? Because you get the year without Jordan there, and then the Knicks and the Rockets go to 7, and I don't know, if we go back and look, it's like, how much did the league suffer? But at least looking back, that's a fun year for NBA history, and still a great finals, great playoffs, like great stories. Even the next finals is iconic as well too, with the Magic and the Rockets, even though that series doesn't go 7. But again, you got Jordan kind of taking over the space in that gap that you don't go to 7 games. And then from 84 to 78 is a little bit of a stretch as well too. But that is, the period as the league is kind of forming, with Magic and Bird now being in the league as well too. And then, you start going post-merger with all the different stuff. And I don't even know, the final series. I guess in 55, we do get game 7. So 51, we get a game 7, chat. I don't know when they switched to... I guess, again, 5 games would have been for the earlier stuff in there. But that is interesting to look at, chat. I don't know. Again, smarter people than me to figure out how that actually matters into the league conversation. But stars, I think, of course, and, it's all players at the end of the day. But a bandwagon franchise, like, you think about a team like the Cowboys, of course, in the 90s. And obviously the Cowboys in the 90s are working with a different thing, because they are established as a lead just branding franchise at that point, and one of America's leading sports markets, one of America's leading sports marketing brands. But that 90s team was, of course, a really powerful team, and they had stars like Emmitt Smith and, Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman and some of the guys on defense and Larry Allen. But it's not a team that necessarily you would say, looking back, has that logo type player in a way. And if you even just what is the thing you think about for 90s football, you think about almost just the Cowboys brand. And maybe you think about that a little bit more. I don't know if that's more of a football thing as well too. Basketball a little more player driven in a way. But again, instead of the 80s, I don't think of necessarily the Niners. You do think of the Niners, but you think of Montana, and you think of Rice, and you think of the individuals, the individual talent in that way. And maybe that's, just the nature of their playoffs. Montana, a little bit more dramatic playoffs. The Cowboys were just so dominant. Is that the Thunder's problem? They're the Cowboys. They're too dominant. Nobody's going to remember them. But again, that Cowboys team was different. So, if the Thunder were more established at this point and more branding, then yeah, would there be a different conversation? But you can have, I think, that brand and that team that people gravitate toward, or that star and that player that people gravitate toward as well too. The star, again, is always going to be, I think, more powerful. But getting these high-level dramatic games and these dramatic moments to make people tune into are going to be things that help elevate these team brands and these team, just the eyeballs pointed at them, the player stuff, and the again, yeah, like the brand and the team strength recognition as well too. And is the brand, is it almost just like Presti as the GM as well? Because I think the GMs now get a little bit more love. You see like Roseman, again going back to the NFL, like almost this is a little bit of an Eagles situation where Mahomes gets credit for the Eagles in a way that Veach doesn't, but or I guess Veach doesn't get credit for the Chiefs because of Mahomes, obviously, but Roseman gets credit for the Eagles, and Hurts doesn't really get the same credit that Mahomes does. And it seems a little fair at times as well too that both of those could arguably be the respective best at their jobs. But this is going to be fun, chat. Game 7, and like we were saying, I don't know, because of some of these other games in here as well too, it does seem like obviously there's a case that it's not like the best team in the finals always has the best performance, but in these finals as well too, I mean, a lot of finals, obviously historic matchups, but you think the Cavs versus the Warriors in a game 7, the Heat versus the Spurs, and as I'm looking at it as well too here, again, I guess these first 4, like you get the double listed, so you get LeBron in 4 games here when it's really 2. It's like, okay, LeBron in 2 game 7s in the finals, you got MJ and none. Is that even just like a little bit of a thing where MJ didn't even let it get to a game 7, chat? Hey yo. But you still have obviously the best players in the league battling in a game 7. You have the best team in the league in the Spurs and the best player in the league in LeBron. You have the 2, again, just best teams with the Celtics and the Lakers, and Kobe arguably up there with the best players in the league in 2010 as well too. So there is an elevated status to these teams that get thrown in there where the level of basketball, again, does get validated by game 7 being played. And maybe a bad game 7 is different, but a good game 7 for a series that has been mostly competitive, again, outside of night and a couple other games, is a good way to establish both of these teams as just great teams for the NBA stuff. And there is some talk about the historical stuff for the Thunder as well, and I think this game may have been a little bit of a game for the historical sort of factor of it, a little bit of a hit game for that, unfortunately, for the Thunder. And I don't think that's like obviously important right now, is for them to be like, how do we fall? I mean, maybe they're probably who knows what they're thinking about as they look down the opportunity to make a finals win here. But obviously you don't need to be thinking about where do we fall in NBA history. Let's just win the finals and let the performances sort of speak for themselves in a way. But there was obviously, with their record and with their run, the talk of where they rank amongst teams. And this is that type of game that we were saying, if they were going up against another veteran team that had more veteran players and guys that were established legacy guys in the NBA already, would there be a different sort of outcome or pace or tension to the series presented by that fact that the Thunder just aren't at that level of experience yet? And would a guy like that, again, to bring back Giannis, if they were playing the Bucks, would Giannis be able to close out or elevate the Pacers in a series in a different way like that? Obviously he would, but would that type of closing star swing the games for him enough to change the outcome? And there is, but anyways, like we're saying, there is that elevating factor of both these teams being these great teams. But if we were continuing the matchups to look ahead for Game 7, you've got Halliburton versus Shea and J-Dub versus Siakam. And again, J-Dub, I know that the Thunder they're not able to quite keep up with the Pacers over the course of this game. But the way this game started was a little, okay, Shea, J-Dub, there was that duo factor early in the game for both of them that in a toe-to-toe situation, I don't know, man, we're locked in on J-Dub right now. 6 for 13, 7 for 15, yeah, just not really great. Not even really on them tonight, Chad. Again, they were some of the efficiency, but again, really just the aggression. Like, you've got Chet at 2 for 9, Hartenstein at 3-4 is not always going to be there. Dort at 1 for 5, and then they kind of pull some of the guys as well too, and just a bunch of guys getting minutes tonight. But really just Shea and Jalen, I think from some of, Jalen Chet was minus 40 tonight is crazy. Just immediately undoing that game from the last game. He was 40 points in the last game, minus 40 tonight. But, yeah, offensively, obviously, there is still... I guess the point being there was still there was still, they can impose when they need to. The effort wasn't there, but if the effort's there, they can still get to their spots. There's still a physicality, and there's still an ability for them to score that at home with the elevated role guys around him, again, is still going to make him scary. And the Pacers have been really reliant on the bench performance to keep him in this game. So it not keep him in this game tonight because of the way that it spiraled out of control. And with the way that Halliburton played so well to start the game, like you look at 5 for 12, I guess he went 1 for 3 there in the third and second half. But Siakam at 6 for 14 with 16 points tonight. But Toppin with 20 and McConnell with 12 shots. Yeah, as many shots as Halliburton. Again, probably taking a few more there once Halliburton's out. But also just aggressive in the early part of the game as well, too. So, yeah, wait, let's go back and look here. Their bench performances in the last couple of games. McConnell, I guess only 12. I was going to say, wait, 20? But 20 for Toppin. 12 for McConnell. Maybe Toppin... No, Toppin, I feel like, had a good game. Oh, wait a second. We just clicked on Game 6 again. Game 5 is actually the game that we are looking for to double-check the bench stats. And we'll look at Game 4 as well, too. So, yeah, McConnell with 18, Toppin with 20. So, yeah, kind of flip performances there as well, too. So, they're getting 32 points from both of those, essentially, 30-plus points from both of those guys off the bench in each of the last 2 games. So, again, not a great Game 5 overall for the Pacers, but you just kind of have to mesh both the good bench performances with the hope that, obviously you get great starting performances with that as well, too. But McConnell with 8 and then Toppin with 17, so, 25-ish for the bench in that game. So, you're going to need, I guess 25 keeps it kind of feisty, but really you're going to win, obviously, if you're going to get 35 from Toppin and McConnell. And the encouraging thing would be that, again, in that Game 5, through the toughness of the defense, it did feel like those were some of the guys that could actually battle through that. So maybe there is a reliance on both those guys. So you're feeling basically like if you're the Pacers, like you're down to, not down to, but you got Siakam, Toppin, Nembhard, and Halliburton, and McConnell that are like the 5 guys that you can trust, I think. And as much as you really probably want to put Nembhard out there in that lineup, Nembhard, I think you need the extra creation when the other guys are out there. And I guess maybe the problem is playing all the guys together as well, too, because, again, Nembhard, he hit some threes, or I keep getting the names mixed up, Chet. Ayo, Nesmith, when he's out there, he was hitting some, 2 for 5 from 3 tonight, so 2 for 9 overall from the field. But, again, leading the playoffs in three-pointers, like there is the floor spacing physicality that he brings to the lineup. But either way, those are the 5 players that you trust the most at this point if you're Indiana. So don't be surprised, I guess, if that's how they end the season with that lineup. And if you're the Thunder, again, your 3 core players have been the 3 best players, the 3 players that you've relied on in this series offensively. So that's a good long-term, current-term combination thing for building this team out. You've got trust in Shea, obviously, Jalen and Chet. Caruso, I think, was, through the course of the playoffs, just like a lock kind of trust him role guy. I think he's still definitely there. I think Dort, the defense from Dort is got to be in the mix as well, too. But, again, in a weird sort of case for the Pacers, maybe they have actually 5 guys you can trust. Again, the problem is, do Nembhard, McConnell, and Halliburton all make sense together, and the defense-offense combo of that, is that enough to outdo the Heat, or the Heat, the Heat applied by the Thunder? There we go, chat. That's what we meant to say. For them to get past the Thunder. But the Thunder, with all the depth and the option stuff, the confidence I would have would be those 4 guys with the 3 main guys, and then Dort, and then kind of whoever else goes next. And you still are thinking, okay, like we're saying, SGA and Jalen Williams could still be the 2 best players on the court. And the problem is, again, this line's going to be like OKC by 10. Just FanDuel never giving the Pacers a chance in any of these games. But I think this is going to be a battle game, chat. I think this is going to be a battle game. And we'll go back and look at those Game 7 because, again, the Game 7 2016 is obviously just going to be iconic. And for what that series is, like, obviously the storylines for this series just can't compete. I mean, as good as this series has been, I'm telling you, right, finals rankings, it's not better than the 2016 finals. It wasn't better than the 2016 finals going into this finals. It couldn't have been. It didn't have LeBron and Steph. It didn't have the Warriors winning 73 games. It didn't have the LeBron returning home to Cleveland to win the title. It just is, there's too much going on there for that one to not be at the top of the list. But outside of that, the storylines going into it, this I feel like could be, you know, you've got the Spurs, if they had been going, if that series in 2013 had been, and that Game 7 obviously was intense because of the stakes in the previous year because of the Game 6 and the historic nature of the ending of that one. But the next year didn't even get a chance, like I was saying, to go to Game 6 or Game 7. So the idea that revenge storyline carries over to that kind of intense setting didn't necessarily get to happen. So, yeah, Chad, Oklahoma City by 8.5 on the line. Minus 335. Vegas is saying lock it in to win. Do we immediately just have to put together a quick parlay before we take off, chat? Okay, we'll be back, of course, for Game 7, but just subscribe real quick because we're going to cook up just a stellar parlay here, chat. It is what it is. Yeah, that's going to make you want to press that button and smash the notification bell. But Jalen Williams, first basket. Jalen Williams to lead the team in scoring. Can we get that one, chat? Hey, yo, Jalen Williams 30+ is 4-1. Shea is minus 2-1 to get 30 in this game. So Shea to get 30 and the Thunder to win, you're not even going to make any money. Both of those minus 120. It's basically even odds. Yes, chat. It's like, okay, this is the baseline of what should happen is both of those things together. Is Shea should get 30 and the Thunder should win the game. I mean, obviously if Shea gets 30, there is a good chance that the Thunder win the game. Maybe you go like a Shea 3-point bet. Shea plus 2 3-pointers is plus 102. Shea 2 3-pointers made in the money line, chat, is plus 135. That's the way to go right there. If Shea hits 30 points and not 2 threes in a Game 7, I mean, I guess you're not like stunned, but it would be a little interesting. I mean, it would just be a crazy, I guess, volume game for him in the mid-range, which again is not super surprising. But where's Jalen Williams as well too? Hey, yo, chat. I guess we can't get like free throw parlays in here, but Jalen Williams 3-pointers plus 100, Halliburton minus 150. If we go the other way and Halliburton just goes crazy, 4 3-pointers made for Halliburton plus 520. They're gonna bet on Dort, chat, to lock him in. Maybe SGA, like a sneaky triple-double. SGA, 10 rebounds. Wait a second. SGA to record 10 rebounds is 12-1. What's 8 rebounds? SGA, 8 rebounds, 5-1? How many times has SGA recorded a playoff? You know, you don't want to necessarily say triple-double. He could have, of course, gotten a double-double or just gotten 10 rebounds and, I guess, single-digit points. But how many times in general, I guess, has he gotten 10 rebounds in a playoff game? He's been close, I feel, a couple times. Yeah, he had 8 in Game 3. Yeah, Game 3. He had 8. And I guess 2 and 3 since then has been a little... So 8 was, I guess, the higher end. But I remember that stat line. It's like, oh, it's Shea? Triple-double. He's now kind of upped the game even a little bit more into the triple-double range. But, wait, did we go career playoffs here? Let me make sure that that's the log we're on. So he has 6 career double-digit rebound games. Game 4 against Houston, Game 4 against New Orleans in 2024. Houston, that would have been in 2020, that Chris Paul team that he was on, and then going up against Harden as well. But yeah, and then what do we say? 10 in Game 4 against New Orleans 2024, 12 against Dallas, and 10 against Dallas in Games 2 and 3 last year. And then this year had 10 and 13 rebounds in Game 1 and 3 versus Denver. And then 10 rebounds versus Minnesota, Game 5. Oh, that game 4. And then 10 rebounds against oh wait, 10 assists, sorry. Oh wait, were we looking at assists there? Again, rebounds. Oh, 9 rebounds in game 4. Oh, and that was the 40, 10, and 9 chat. Ayo, so that's an almost triple double game as well too. And then yeah, 8 rebounds in game 3 this playoffs. So he hasn't had a double-digit rebound game since game 3, the overtime loss in Denver, but he had 9 and he's been close a couple times. So that's a fun swing. A game 7 sort of all or nothing bet on the table, and Shea just goes crazy. 12 rebounds. I kind of like that, chat. Toppin 11 rebounds is interesting as well too. Somebody, again, in game 7, it's like, okay, we really are trusting our main guys. We don't need to necessarily, everything's on the table. I think Halliburton, probably the tightness in his calf strain is feeling really good after tonight's game as well too. He probably played that off. So, you're really just going to be trusting your main guys in this one. Toppin has 1 career playoff game in double-digit rebounds. For this playoff series, he's been 4, 7, 6, 5, and 5. So, I don't know, Toppin to get like 6 or more rebounds. Hey, yo. Plus odds on that one, chat. It's crazy. Plus 144. Chet minus 1,600. Oh, chat, the odds are already dropping. Is it Shea on the rebounds? Is it crushing us? Oh, Shea to get rebounds. We parlay this in. Shea on the threes, chat. That's dropping as well, too. That's already plus 100. What was that, like 102? Okay, I don't think it's moving. Ayo. Too crazy. Assist. Shea like 6 plus a 6, minus 150. Okay, so that's kind of locked in. 8 assists, though, plus 255. You wouldn't want to, I don't know, start getting too risky. I could see him in a 30 plus, 35 plus, 10 rebound, 6 assist type game. I don't know, 8, 10 assists. Jalen Williams, I feel like there's going to be a little ISO nature to their game where there's not going to be enough assists to go around for everybody. To record a triple-double in general, 65-1 for Shea to record a triple-double? Okay, never mind, chat. To be honest, I guess I wasn't thinking about that part of it. I locked that in. He's going to get 10 assists. Easy, chat. Passing it to J-Dub every time. That is again, Game 7, Shea, he's the MVP of the league. Like, you might as well just bet that for whoever the best player in the league is. Could he get a triple-double just to end the season and just be awesome? Player made threes. That's the general over-under. We do a little, like, team success. Oh, here we go. Here's steals. 2+ steals. I feel like Dort's going to be even odds for this almost. Maybe we probably don't even. Dort, 2-1. They hit him down here, chat. Just so we. Nemhard plus 940. Halliburton 280 as well in that. Halliburton with the deflections tonight was going crazy. How many steals did he have tonight? He did end up with 2 as well. 5 turnovers to 7 assists for our guy Halliburton. So that's a little interesting note going into the Game 7 is Halliburton's efficiency over the last game is sort of continued. Definitely the field goal percentage was there. The three-point shooting 1 for 7 as well. So his three-point shooting struggles and his turnover struggles have continued against the... Oh, wait a second. We're looking at Game 4, chat. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. That would make more sense. I was like 5 turnovers tonight for Halliburton in a loss? Or in a win? A 30-point win? We'll see if that continues here as well. Hopefully he didn't have any turnovers tonight, chat. Halliburton. Yeah, okay, only 1 turnover tonight. Though 5 assists, so a little lower on the assist total, but again, 23 minutes played. 2 steals, 23 minutes. So I guess 2 steals in that game, the whole, playing more 30-plus minutes. This one, not quite as many minutes. So, that probably puts him on pace for 3 steals in the next game, but 2 steals at plus 280. So is he even plus odds to get 1 steal? Oh, minus 174. Okay, chat. So we're going to do a weird Halliburton. We start parlaying all this together. Chat, we're at like plus 25, plus 125. Yeah, 125-1, chat. Hey, yo. This is a crazy combinations of bets parlay. The blocks, we start putting blocks into this as well, too. I don't know if that's going to necessarily be an easy one to predict. But the first half money line, Pacers plus 230. A tie at halftime is 20-1. 20-1 for a tie at halftime. First quarter winner tie 16-1. The tie is pretty specific, but honestly, okay, chat, another bet recommendation here would be just bet a tie in all of these quarters and maybe one of them hits. You know, that's not necessarily great betting advice, I guess, but Game 7, a game that could be this competitive, could be one of those quarters could definitely end in a tie. Or alternate spread on the quarters as well, too. Pause. Is this even possible? Maybe it's not possible this early out. Jalen Williams, first quarter points, over under. Do we start going alternates on here? Okay, first quarter alternate spread. Pacers plus 7.5. Let's go more the Thunder side of thing. Thunder minus 7.5 plus 196 is the best we can do. Thunder plus 2.5 minus 130 or minus 373. Ayo, chat. Whoa, our odds dropped dramatically. Ayo, what continues to shift? Shea. Oh, just the OKC money line just continues to drop, I guess. Feels like it dropped quite a bit there, unless I accidentally took a bet out. Race to 15. Now we can't really parlay any of this stuff in, but Indiana to score 15 points first, plus 154. Neither. Whoa. 100 to 1? I don't know what that means, chat. How does neither team get to 15? Well, you know, I don't know if we want to start taking those bets just for the sake of, you know, making sure everybody's okay. Margins, win margin. Pacers by 1 to 10. Thunder by 1 to 10 is plus 160. Thunder by 11 to 1 is plus 105. So Pacers to win the title in Game 7 by a close game of 1 to 10 points is 3 to 1. So the Thunder are 3 to 1 to win the entire game, but the Pacers are just to win in general. But the Pacers are 3 to 1 to win 1 to 10. I don't know, chat. Seems like I should be able to get that at like 5 to 1 plus 550. That doesn't seem quite right, but either way, not bad. Okay, so quick scan of the bets says Shea plus 10 rebounds and Tyrese Halliburton plus 2 steals is the way to go, chat. That's our parlay advice. Hey, yo. This is why we don't ever win bets. Oh, but Shea plus the made 2 threes is kind of fun. So plus 2 threes from Shea, plus 2 threes from Halliburton, or plus 2 steals from Halliburton. That's a little thick on the steals there, chat. Ayo. That's 5 to 1 though. I mean, obviously, you know, 2 steals is kind of crazy. Can we get a third prop in here to make sure that we don't lose, to make sure that we don't win this one? You know, just as many reasons for things to go wrong as possible. We just go ahead and put a method of first bucket parlay in here and just ruin it. But first quarter total points. Bet the over on that. Plus 52.5. 25. So it would be 26 to 27 at the end of the first quarter. Wait, what was it again in this one, chat? 26 to 27. It was 25 to 28 to 25. Hey, yo, chat. Hey, yo. So would it be a little bit worse? I could see it being like a 24 to 20. It could be a little bit of a, you know, a tense sort of pause, sloppier third quarter for sure. Hey, yo, whoa. Under 52.5 for the first quarter. Maybe we start going under for the fourth quarter stuff as well too. That would make it 11 to 1. Maybe we could take out the Halliburton steals at that point. That's really gonna drop our odds though as well. Okay, yeah, let's just stick to the player performances really quick. Plus 15 points. Wait a second. Let's go McConnell plus 15 points. What do we get on that? 360. So McConnell was 12 and 20. He's averaging 15 in the last two, and he's plus 360. Plus 10. He's not going to probably get... Do we get plus odds on McConnell plus 10? Oh, minus 115. So if we were building a smart parlay, we would do that, but we're not, chat. We don't build smart parlays. We build parlays to lose that we may win occasionally. So for that sake, we're going to put McConnell plus 360. Okay, is he going to finish in that... Hey, you'll pause that 11 to 13 range and just be like, he's going to have a layup called back on a charge at some point. You know, McConnell gets the charge called in it, but it's like, oh, that was the 15th point, and then it just gets taken away. So this moves our parlay to 56 to 1. Shea, 2 made threes. Halliburton, 2 plus steals. The first quarter under, and McConnell, 15 points. Okay, I don't know about a couple of those, chat, but we can adjust as we go. 20 points. J-Dub minus 194. So I don't know. We just do like a points parlay. We just bet everybody to have a lot of points, and after we just said it was going to be a defensive first quarter. Well, I mean, we also like having fun and rooting for good outcomes. So, Jalen Williams plus 172 for 25 points. Start getting plus odds for that. Shea to drop 40, 340. Start parlaying that is probably pretty crazy. Let's go back to the player threes here real quick. What's Siakam to make 2 threes? I don't know about that. Can we get plus odds on Siakam to make 1 3? I don't know about that. Oh, minus 340, not quite. We can't get plus odds on anybody to make a 3. Would be, I mean, not surprising at 25. Case and Wallace, though, is minus 115. Just to make 1 3? Case and Wallace minus 115, chat? I might be a little nervous betting that one. Hey, yo, as much as we want to build out the dumbest, or the smartest dumb bet possible, that seems a little crazy. 5 made 3s, Neesmith or Halliburton. 4 made 3s, 3 made 3s. I don't know, chat. And that does, again, a fun version of the series because these teams aren't just that basic. You know, Boston, to keep bringing up Boston, chat. Another reason why they're not, I guess another reason why they're discredited or whatever, but the entertainment of that value of that series is a little lower is because Boston's offense is just a little bit more, there's a little less going on in their offense, obviously. It's a little more basic, the three-pointers, the ISO. It's simplistic and formulaic and repeatable and not bad. It's a version of basketball. It's definitely, I mean, it's at the end of the day, we just love watching basketball. But there is, again, a uniqueness in the pacing, and you kind of don't know what's going to happen on offense, and the teams are moving the ball around, and it's just, it's a fun, a little bit more unpredictable watch. Even though some of the Shea, Jalen Williams stuff, obviously the diagnosing can get a little repetitive. There is a fun nature to watching them work. And again, with Jalen emerging in the last couple of games, there has been a your turn, my turn thing as well, too, that the balance there has been more equal than maybe it was throughout the season, and that's been fun as well, too. But rebounds, chat, there does have to be a rebound one that we can get in more interestingly as well. Wait, what was Shea? 8 rebounds? Turner, 8 rebounds, plus 470. Toppin, 8 rebounds, plus 470. Shea, plus 480 for 8 rebounds. Wait, let's go back to that 6 rebounds. Shea, plus 134. 6 rebounds for Shea, plus 134, chat. Let's scale back on Shea, plus 10 rebounds. Do we even still have that one in there? No, we don't. We had him at 2 made. So is he going to make 2 threes or have 6 rebounds? Now we're just, how long do we want to sit here and pause and do research for the parlay? But, I mean, we're trying to win money. We're trying to help you guys out. Times are tough, chat. So, we got to make sure to earn every dollar from these big corporate FanDuel places as much as we can. So, for his career, he has 19 games with 5 or more rebounds, and he has, it doesn't have his 3-pointers made on here. So wait, let's go 3-pointers made. He has at least 22 games with 2 or more threes and 19 games with 5 or more rebounds. How many games with 6 or more rebounds in his career? He has, 8, okay, so 18 games with 6 or more total rebounds in his career. And because I guess we gotta obviously we gotta include the 10 rebound games in there, obviously, chat. So 18, it's kind of almost the same, chat. 18 games of 6 or more rebounds, and what was it? 22 games of 2 or more threes. So a little bit more likely that he actually hits a couple of more threes. In our quick research math, chat. Hey yo, that's how it happens. 2 threes. He has hit at least a 3 in every game except for the last. And then tonight, he himself had, where's he at here, chat? 0 for 1 from 3. So he's missed, I guess, 3s now in each of the last 2 games. But then 1 in each of the last 3 before that. Then 3. So he had a stretch of 2, 2, 2, and then 3. So Minnesota, he was just really, again, hitting some 3s against them. So does he correct that in the finals, or is that just what this series is? Shea not hitting 3s. Maybe Nemhard, chat, has got that on lock for him. So we had 2 3s. I don't know, we just go the better odds for that one. Was it 2 3s? Minus 102 or 6 rebounds plus 136. Okay, chat. As much as the 2 threes does feel, if he has an offensive game, realistic, maybe the free throw stuff could be obviously more prominent. So we're gonna take a swing with the 6 rebounds. But just know, if you go a parlay with plus 2 threes, or do we just put them both in here, chat? Hey, yo, we just said we're trying to cook up on a reasonable bet. Let's put both. First quarter under. That's also a one that feels fine. But I mean, everything in here feels like it's gonna hit, chat. What am I looking at wrong? How do we not just get rich every time we place a parlay? Okay, so that's definitely going to make it a little bit more, at only 60 to 1, maybe a little too low, chat. We got to find one more player to put in here. So we've got McConnell. We got Halliburton. Oh, 2+ steals. That's right. 2+ steals. I kind of think that one is honestly more riskier than either of the 2 that we just took out. But we're going to go with it anyways because we need a Halliburton bet in here. And his defense could be clutch. Unless we go back to defense and we see something else that we like. 1+ steal. I said we were looking at odds on that. 3+ steals, but not 2+ steals. So Siakam, Halliburton would actually be, again, amongst the best odds. Or, yeah, let's go back and put Dort in there again, chat. Ayo. So Dort, 2+ steals is plus 205. So there's our steals. Our assists, let me double check. We didn't have Shea for assist. No, we didn't have Shea for assist. So we could go Halliburton for the assist here. Halliburton, like 6+ assists. Minus 265. Okay, not great. Nembhard 6+ to 6, plus 176. McConnell, J-Dub, Siakam. So Nembhard plus 4 assists, minus 265. Maybe we just throw that one in there just because, chat. I don't know if the player assist. Again, some of the ISO stuff feels like the assist number is not crazy for everybody. But let's double check Nembhard on the assist, because we might be able to, put a minus 200 in there just because our parlay is going to get so expansive. The odds are going to be good no matter what, chat. It is what it is. He is averaging 5 assists a game on the season. The last couple of games, though, 3, 2, and 1 assists. Hasn't been crazy, though. 6 assists in game 1, so I guess, again, projecting everybody to have a great game. Nembhard could definitely get 6 or more assists, and that was plus 176. So he should get 4 assists. Hey, he should, ayo. Minus 265. Siakam minus 118 is interesting. Minus 265 would make this 68 to 1 versus plus 176 is 122 to 1, chat. Lock it in. Okay. This is going to be a crazy all-time everybody plays their best Game 7. Probably the best Game 7 in NBA history. Everybody's maximizing their talent, but this is what we like to see, chat. This is what we like to bet on. Just historic, unrealistic outcomes. So let's go half again here and see. Can we get a little bit of that first half, second half for the same game parlay? No, we can't. We can just go first half. Just first half? So first half. Can we tie in the parlay? Chat, this makes our parlay plus 850 to 1. A first half tie. Throwing that in there. The Pacers to win the first half, though, plus 230. OKC at minus 240 to win the first half is interesting as well, too. Again, our parlay is just got enough odds at this point that it could be good enough anyways. So I kind of want to go back and go first quarter. All the points, chat. So much more to look at. Ayo, pause. But first quarter total points. Let's go with our, I guess our gut says everybody's going to play well, but the first quarter is not going to be great. But I guess it was not like crazy. Like McConnell at 15. Shea hits a couple of threes. You can still go the first quarter under. Rebounds, obviously, is going to need some missed shots. Steals. Dort, that doesn't have to lead to points. The Nembhard 6 assist thing would be the thing that is kind of almost the counterintuitive part to our matchup here. But maybe a slow first quarter, then Nembhard has to take over playmaking, chat. So let's go under the first quarter total. Wait, let's see these other quarters here real quick. This will really be the last leg that we throw in here anyways. So last thing to look at. Okay, it might be the same across the board. So the third quarter, do we bet the third quarter over? Oh, over 56.5. Ooh, chat, they're good. FanDuel knows what they're doing. Fourth quarter. Ooh, the fourth quarter might actually be the place to bet the under as well too. See, like, what was the fourth quarter night? 31-18. So again, the last couple of quarters have been sort of swings one way, but yeah, like at tonight's game, it doesn't matter too much. So 53.5 for the fourth quarter of the next game. I don't know. Maybe let's just stick to the first quarter. So Shea plus 2 threes. Okay, let's just go Shea plus 2 threes and plus 6 rebounds. McConnell plus 15 points. Dort plus 2 steals. Nembhard plus 6 assists. And the first quarter under at 52.5 gives you a parlay. $1 wins you $227.09. So if you guys need to, like, flip a grocery bill and then, you know, this will be like a classic. You can flip the grocery bill and then put all the groceries in the fridge and take somebody out to eat on this type of win as well too. Only on $1, chat. This is how the REMINGTOM pod. This is the value we bring to your life right here. Not only do we bring value, literal value, flipping $1 into $227.09 on the FanDuel with this crazy parlay. So you can tune in live, of course, here to see if this parlay hits. Sunday, I believe, is when Game 7 is. So yeah, be back for that. And we'll be live tomorrow, chat. We're live Friday nights. The show goes on. We'll be live tomorrow night as usual as well. So subscribe. Stay tuned for that. The feeds go up on the podcast feeds, like Spotify, Apple, so all the live streams are, of course, they're not live, but they're available afterwards over there as well. And if you guys want to send us a message, you can DM us at Instagram, on Instagram at REMINGTOM over there as well too. So yeah, be back, chat. Finals Game 7. We can't wait to watch it. We can't wait for you guys to join us, and you know it's going to be fun. This series has been great, so I imagine it will continue in a historic way, and a new champion will be crowned, a worthy champion, chat. Michael Che? Oh, who? Michael Che Gilgeous-Alexander. Hey, yo, chat. Who's playing in the finals? Shea Halliburton. Who will win, chat? Adam Silver. We're going to we're going to get IT on some recon and see if we can find the script for Game 7, and we'll be back with the script and follow along and see if it matches, chat, because it didn't match tonight, that fourth quarter script that they gave us. But yeah, I guess that'll do it, chat. We'll put a bow on it there, and we will see y'all later. Thanks for watching.